ちゃんと全部チェックしとけよ。今日の更新文の最後に書いてあったぞ、伊藤部員。
Okay, let's double check. Perfect. All right, good timing.
やがましい。
Oh, okay, buddy. Hang on, let me go ahead and switch. That was actually really awkward timing. Okay. Sorry. Just something that the game did. Let me go ahead and put this over here and this over here. Okay, so, I don't know why, but lately I've been doing a lot of late night streams of this game. It's kind of fitting because I imagine if you want to read this, you probably want to read it in an atmosphere that's a little bit more encompassing. So how are you guys doing? If you're interested in the VN stream, I am perfectly happy with you guys just sticking around the chat and hang out. So, if you missed the last stream, what happened was the girl that we met at the hotel, the one that was at the scene of the crime where the murder happened, it's pretty obvious now that she's not actually being as truthful as we thought she was. It's pretty obvious because she had a very, very serious personality during the interrogation, and we overheard her conversation with the detective, and it's very likely that what we think the stickers are, the stickers of, I guess they call the sumo wrestler stickers, two faces of a man stuck together, and there's 3 eyes. They're placed at the scene of murders, and we're thinking that the stickers are actually cameras. So whenever you see that sticker in town, someone's actually watching you. That's a little bit creepy, but that's the point. So for some reason, there's this guy, or people, that are committing murders that are very similar to the murder 6 years ago, and they're publicizing them on the internet for people to see. And in context of the current city, 6 years ago there was an earthquake. Pretty damn sure it's not a natural earthquake. It was an artificially created earthquake that ruined the entire city of Shibuya. And then when they rebuilt it with a lot of infrastructure that's earthquake resistant. But more importantly, a lot of infrastructure that was security related. So now this entire city is filled with cameras. But for some reason, someone is murdering people despite all the cameras. And we can't find out who that person is because they've never been seen on a camera before. Instead, this person who's killing people supposedly is putting up stickers that act as cameras. And so the question is, what does that even mean? Like, I mean, not just like why that person is doing it. I imagine they're trying to create some type of like hysteria, but what does that mean in terms of the story structure? You have the... Okay, actually, I can kind of tell you. So, have you ever noticed that in horror stories, it's very unlikely that what we consider to be elements of safety don't actually work? So as an example, why doesn't the person just call the police? Well, in that horror story, the police are considered incompetent. And so either they won't be able to save you because they'll get killed by the monster, or they don't believe you. There's a monster? Who gives a shit? You gotta be kidding me, man. We get these kind of messages all the time, you know? That kind of idea. Or your cell phone doesn't work. Comic technology doesn't work. You have no internet. There is no electricity. There's nothing that would be considered like the safe hoods and bastions of modern day technology, which should make you more knowledgeable. And if you have more knowledge, you're able to fight against the unknown, which is the monster better, right? So in this case, you have tons of cameras, which act as safety, right? But for some reason, this thing or people are able to kill multiple victims. We can't... I'm not really sure if they have anything in relation to each other, except maybe they were a little bit too invested in modern day technology. But anyway, this thing or people, we're saying people because we're pretty damn sure it's not just one person now, is killing people outside the safe hoods of technology, and that's the scary part. Or, you know, I mean, it would be more scary if I didn't explain it, which is how knowledge works to make things less scary. Anyway.
Yeah. 警察はじゃないのかもしれない。
I'm trying to wonder if that's like the... Maybe they make that better as the visual novel goes on, but so much of this visual novel is determined by constructing a setting in which there is no safety.
会話に出てきたシールっていうのは歴史シールのことだ。
I mean, it makes sense, but the moment you realize that the killer is a person, doesn't that make it less scary? Because this whole game is about framing knowledge, perspective, and technology. So how do you make that scary? I'm trying to think right now. I'm trying to figure out how you would do this. How would you create a modern day monster? I mean, what's his name? Slenderman was an example of that. And it kind of works.
やっぱりこれはまたとないチャンスなんだ。
It's about how urban legends are made, I guess. I don't know how you make an urban legend story correctly. Maybe this is what it is. Because urban legend story is a little bit freaky, yeah? And they exist outside of knowledge. They create a situation where it's familiar, but you make it really irregular. People can be far scarier than monsters. Yeah, it's possible.
Hi.
2015年10月7日0時になりました。皆様ようこそいらっしゃいませ。
Oh man, speaking of
さんと申します。
the bastion of safety, Kay. Kay is, she is a knowledgeable host for a news website, and on the regular she makes these broadcasts to help inform people, and for some reason she's able to inform her audience really well with information that mainstream media does not have, consistently answering questions and framing a narrative on a story to make things less confusing, which is really beautiful, actually, and I respect that as a person who wants to know more about things. I wonder if we'll ever meet Kay. I hope so. She'd be very useful in this story. A person with tons of knowledge and who's able to get information somehow.
もうなくなりましたね。発表されている通りならしばらくは過ごしやすい気温になると思いますが、いかがお過ごしでしょうか。
I mean, what if Kay's the killer? In which case, well, shit, man. Kay's the killer. That's how she has all this information all the time. It's because she's at the scene of the crime all the time. She's killing. I mean, they could do that, but I don't know. I'd be a little disappointed. If you guys can do me a quick favor and retweet this link, I'd appreciate it.
Oh
God, Takaru, please. People's Magazine is super informative, yes. I forgot if the... Oh, you keep forgetting how to pronounce this. Rorschach's test is considered legitimate or not.
この図形は羊か？何々？これが羊などの毛に覆われた動物に見えたあなたは、本心を隠そうという意識が強く、女の子には何を考えているかわからない人ととても警戒されています。
Do I have a sleep schedule? Yes, I do. I woke up a little while ago. Okay. Anyway, different people would see the shape of a dog's head or a man. Da, 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 da. Yeah, but he's reading into it anyway. Miyashiro, please.
そんなあなたのモテ度は20点です。
Nope, definitely 100% correct. I agree. This tests are 100% early. Sorry, correct.
Sate, このように今日も渋谷ではいろんなニュースがありましたが、そろそろ本題に入りましょう。
Okay, the big deal. I need to know about this.
今日放送の機会を設けさせていただいたのは、ある一つの記事を皆さんに紹介したいと思ったからです。
What article is she talking about? Wow, she's even ahead of us, the readers. Well, that's a good...
内容はこの放送やサイトでも頻繁に取り上げさせていただいている事件に関しても、そう。
Fuck! Are you telling me Kay's this person? Oh my god, I hate this character. I'll be right back. I need a drink. I actually need a drink. Okay, I'm back. So the reason why I didn't enjoy seeing this character again is because her character design was really boring. I know that's super, what's the word? Shallow. But man, one, her visual design is kind of boring to me. Two, I've seen the genius high school detective so many times, and I get her function in the story, but now you're telling... You know what? I'll tell you what. This adds to her character and maybe I'll like her. The fact that she's so kind about informing people is actually a good thing if she's trying to stop the destabilization of information and how it would scare people, I guess. So yeah, you know what? I'll give her a chance.
6年前の渋谷で連続して起こったニュージェネレーションの狂気という事件の日付と今回の連続猟奇事件の日付が一致していることは以前に述べましたが、この動画はそれ以外の共通点を指摘してくださっています。このアドレスです。
This is the address? Huh? That's our video. Oh my god. Wow. We're gonna be working together with a high school detective. Good. I like that. Especially if we're trying to make sure none of us dies, I would like to have her on our side. So I guess I should probably like her a bit more. Or try to.
Onoe, 渋谷ニュース聞いてるか？早く見てみろ。僕らの動画が特集されてる。
So pretty much what we did is once we found information, we reported it in an anonymous fashion on, think of it as the Japanese YouTube, Nico Nico. And she caught wind of that, and she's reporting it to her audience, which isn't a bad thing, right? If we're trying to inform people to make people safe, then that makes sense. But how did she know? And stuff like that. Well, she does something that the police in this game don't do, which is they don't check the internet. That's logically and realistically, that's stupid as fuck to me. But that's not the point. The point is the police are incompetent in the story. And they have to be. Otherwise, if the police were really, really good, then you would have a place to feel safe. Or you can create a villain that is so powerful that even competent police don't do anything.
So それでは今回はこの辺りでお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。わずかな時間のお相手は私 K さんでした。
Alright, let's go, K.
時刻は間もなく2015年10月7日0時22分。
Internet is massive.
悔いのない一日が始められることを祈っています。
Yeah, but here's the thing. People are posting videos of murders, and all you have to do is just go on any website and you will see it. And you will see it on Twitter. This is what the main character does. Freaking goes on Twitter and like, bam, oh, look, murder video. Wouldn't the police just immediately go into that? Done, right? He also posts on a very famous anonymous chat board too, @chan. Huh, okay, so she's playing to a personality that is not that close to her, I guess, is the assumption here. That's why she's so tired.
Nanda.
いや。
お疲れ様みおちゃん。コーヒーは？
もらいます。
昼間の有村といい、最近の若い女の子はどうなってるんだ。
は
あ、その何をしていたんだ今のは。
情報の発信だ。他に何がある？ん？
Yeah, but why? That's the question he's asking. Okay, he's not even on the same page. Are you kidding me?
新庄ちゃんがわからないのも無理はないけどね。
Okay, well, yeah, I guess my read is right.
みおちゃんはうちの大切な情報屋なの。本業は研究者だけど。
はあ？その年でですか？
そう。アメリカの研究所に飛び級で招かれた天才。
Okay, I'll accept it.
私は秀才型です。天才ってやつはこんなもんじゃない。
Interesting, that distinction.
それ、よく電話で話してるあなたがお世話になった子のこと？
Huh, so this person she talks to, she actually considers a genius, but she is not? I wonder what is that distinction? I haven't really thought about that.
What研究を？
私のプロフィールが事件と関係あるのか？
いや、そうじゃないが。
ここよ。
Actually, I've forgotten. Oro, which American university did Kurisu come from? And was that a reference? Because if that was a reference, and that was something that flew over my head until you just mentioned it, so thank you.
頭？
脳みそ量子能力
Victoria
特別研究員
Oh, maybe it was a reference. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, wow. This actually might be it. Hang on. So, in case you're unaware, the sci-fi adventure series are in the same setting. Sorry, there we go.
なぜ壁宝学園に？
渋谷にある壁宝はいろいろとカオスチャイルド症候群を研究するのにちょうどいいからよね。
本題に入りませんか？
I wonder why they call it Chaos. Because even in Chaos Code, they call it Chaos Kodo. But they can say K-O-S-U Kodo, you know? Why is it Chaosu? And they even say, like, Caesar as, like, Kaiser. I'm like, Caesar? Can they say Shisa? That'd be closer, wouldn't it?
有村は力士シールについて何か言っていたか？
Yeah, why did they go about it that way?
俺にはタメ口なんだよな。
おい。
いや、何を気にしているか知らないが、気味悪がっていただけだ。
You know, pretty much I'm just talking about Japanese pronunciation. Even though they have the vowels, they have the katakana to pronounce it correctly, or as close as possible.
確かか？
I'm pretty sure. Ka, o, su.
何をそんなに気にしている？
Ke, o, su. Ke,
そういえば
ke, o,
さ
su.
っきも
Yeah,
シー
that's
ルに
easier
ついて
than
何か言っていたな。
Kaus kodo.
あれは何をしていたんだ？
だから情報の発信だと言っただろ。
Maybe just Kaus for some reason got standardized for chaos, and they just said, okay, we'll leave that for when we want to say chaos.
ちゃんと説明してあげたら？これから新庄ちゃんとは解決まで協力することになるんだし。ギブアンドテイクでしょ？
You know, I haven't really thought too much about genius characters in stories. So that's an archetype to some degree, right? And I'm trying to figure out how do you develop the archetype correctly, and what would it say if you try to think more about constructing that identity.
もらえるものがあればいいんですがね。
お前な、少しは年長者に対する敬意を。
今年発表された主要メディアの利用率を知っているか？
は？
ネットの利用者は全体で7割、10代では8割、20代30代では9割が利用していて、いずれもテレビよりも利用率が高い。
I'm unsure if this is a true fact. 80% of teenagers get their news from the internet? I mean, it would make sense. How much of the time do I spend on the internet per day? A lot of it. I don't even watch news on TV. I watch news on like freaking internet websites, if anything.
都市部に限定すればもっとわかる。10代20代で新聞を日常的に利用しているやつは1割もいない。去年も一昨年もそう変わらん。
Okay, well, I don't read newspapers anymore.
中学生へのスマホの普及率は半分以上。高校生以上になると9割5分。スマホを持っていることはネットを利用していることと同義だ。
And that makes sense to me too, because back in high school, I had a cell phone, but it certainly was not a smartphone. It was one of those stupid flip phones with no internet whatsoever. Oh my god. And now everyone has a smartphone, man. Oh. But the thing is, if you have a smartphone, it's harder to pay attention in class, which makes sense. I get that. And there's so little being taught about, like, being too focused on social media will cause issues too. That's a kind of important if you ask me. Also, just media usage in general and how that's an influence. I wonder if they will ever talk about that in schools, because I think it's kind of important.
待て、 何の話だ?
Talking about the whole premise of this freaking visual novel.
普段手に入れる情報をネットだけに依存している人間がどれだけいると思う?
Man, that's always been one of the hardest things too. Like, breaking down information online and finding what's trustworthy. And that's something you had to figure out. Well, it's actually taught to you, at least in college, where you had to check sources and make sure that it's reliable and things like that. In high school, when you're making papers, at least, you still have to cite your sources. But generally, it would be through books, right? So if I felt the same way as I do on the internet for information as I do about books, I would feel a lot more scared. And that is like, sorting through information on the internet is so exhausting sometimes. And then you got to figure out like people's political affiliations and their own belief and how they might be framing information in a different way while cutting out information and other things like that. It's like so fucking exhausting, you know? Whereas at least with books, I feel like there's that foundation. There's that like basis for its notoriety and therefore it got published. But that's not always the case either, man. So what's keeping me from feeling feeling less secure about books than compared to like internet articles? Probably the amount of effort that it takes. Like anyone can post an internet article to some degree, and fortunately, in some areas, journalists are really. This is hard for me to explain. The job requirement is a lot less than I had initially anticipated, meaning the requirements to be considered a journalist versus what I thought it would be was a lot lower, meaning a lot of people can get into that field. And if you do not have any sort of background in breaking down information and citing your sources and figuring out what's correct, as well as how to construct an idea, then you get what I think is considered the negative perspective of game journalists today. But I'm not just talking about game journalists, I'm talking about journalists in general. I still have a lot of respect for people who work in like news industries and report on like live events and go through the dangers of war, for example. Things like that, I have a lot of respect for. It just sort of sucks that I'm lumped in with a group of people that have a really unfortunate negative connotation right now in the community. I wonder if maybe this game will make me think more about like how important it is to sort through information correctly. There's that aspect. And even then, there's just some ways you just cannot tell if something's reliable or not. And then people can influence like information on the internet far easier than the book in your hand. And even then, it's like, where do you go with that? I don't know how people have handled this because I haven't figured it out yet.
Huh?
監視社会の問題を考える団体の一人がツイポの中毒者でな。同様の思想を持つアカウントとホームページを別々の人間としてでっち上げ、過去にあった効果的な判例に誘導し、複数人からあなたは被害者だと言われているように思わせた。
I've just lost what she's talking about. There was an article about a Shibuya resident suing Koshin for her invasion of privacy. Okay, so someone is suing one of the largest companies in the city. One of the members of a group opposed to the surveillance society is a Twitter addict. Okay, so this person is opposed to all the freaking cameras. I made a bunch of similar accounts and homepages, each of which looked like it was created by a different person. Okay, so she created a bunch of bait accounts and also different homepages to look like she was someone else. Okay, so why? To talk to this person who's a Twitter addict. So you're messaging someone pretending you're someone else, and you created some type of false evidence for that. Go on. Then I pointed them to a favorable judicial precedent to make it look like a bunch of people were telling him he was a victim. Okay, so you created a bunch of fake accounts to make it look like people were saying he's a victim, not a perpetrator. Okay, go on.
踏ん切りがつかなかったようだから、週末に更新側が取った無礼な態度を録音させ、それをネタに炎上させた。
And there we go.
その結果が。
That's essentially it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. How hard it is to figure out truthful information on the internet. And she just fabricated it right there, right? She made a bunch of fake accounts. She spurred on a fake event. And then she forced someone to believe in it. And they created a different perception of it. And this is coming from someone that I initially said I respected because how she clarifies information to make things less fearful. And here we go. Fucking, I hate this character.
まさか。
ネットに依存している奴が一番食いつく情報は、自分にとって都合がいいネット以外のメディアの情報だ。
Right, there's also that aspect. Geez, what is it called in psychology? Is it called confirmation bias? No,
かけて
that's
も
not
いい
it.
が、こいつは提訴に関して、私が紹介した書籍以外は一行も読んでないぞ。
I'll have to read into that again. I remember reading about this in college, as well as here and there. Is it confirmation bias? Okay.
なんでそんなことを？
百瀬さんから更新がきな臭いことは聞いているだろう。私も同じ考えだ。なるべくイメージを落としておきたい。そして私が今欲しいのは力士シールに関する情報だ。
Okay, she's very lucky that the information we're giving her is correct. At least I believe it.
碧峰学園新聞部。
You know, I guess it isn't as anonymous because it's Hekiho, so we're obviously from that school. But they don't hear our voices or see our faces, so that's a big deal too.
首を突っ込むなと注意しておいたのに。
Did it ever examine the sticker and see if there's a camera on it? Not yet.
なかなかに気のつく連中だ。利用できるときに利用しておく。今から、そうだな。12時間もすれば、この動画に力士シールに関しての情報が殺到する。
Right, which is why she sent her entire broadcast to this link, so people could talk about it.
え？
さっきの放送での情報発信は、そのための仕込みの一つだ。
Yeah, it's a visual novel. Pretty much, I'm talking about my thoughts about it and my concerns, stuff like that.
ん？何新庄ちゃん？
いえ。
I'm actually pretty surprised. I did not expect to have so many conversations and thoughts when I was reading this VN. It's actually pretty relevant to concerns that I have today, and I'm trying to figure out how to have my own position on it and figure out how to like wade through things that I do not know about as well as I would like. Am I reviewing this? No, this is purely for pleasure. Thank God. Because I read this really slowly because I'm thinking about so many things.
あ、ダメよ新庄ちゃん。みおちゃんに手出したら。
何言ってるんですか？違います。これは図星とかではなく。
分かってるわよ。まだまだね。
有村は他に同類を見つけていないんだな。
See, the problem about playing a visual novel for review is that so much of its content is based on its story. And reviews, in general, are not supposed to be analysis. They're a different type of format. You're supposed to sell someone a visual novel. And if you spoil a visual novel's story, which is the hugest aspect of it, then you are essentially killing off the main appeal of getting that visual novel. So you cannot do that. You could try if you make a section specifically for analysis, but it's not the same thing. So that's one of the things I hate about the review format, where since you're trying to sell something, you have to be very careful about what you're allowed to say. Because if you give too much information, it can be a spoiler, which would ruin the experience story-wise. And stuff studies about how spoilers do not affect the overall enjoyment of a work. If a work is a... Well, no. Even if it's a mystery, that doesn't count. For me, it will ruin my experience because what I'm doing here is I'm testing my thought process and I'm practicing how I can break down themes of a story and understand it, which is why I do not want spoilers.
So
pretty much every single time I read something that makes me think, this is exactly what I'm thinking about in my head. So when I commentate something like this, and if you've been here from like start to finish with my entire stream of this, you understand what I'm thinking about.
であれば、次に狙われる可能性があると分かっているのは有村だけになる。何の目的かは知らないが、おそらく10月10日に。
Okay, so she broke it down to this. According to the murder 6 years ago, the next murder should happen on the 10th. And if this murderer wants to keep doing the things he or she or they are doing, they need to kill the person that has too much information. Because if that person talks, right, then the hysteria is gone. And these murders exist in such a way where it's a combination of the occult and technology somehow forming into one. If you have too much information, the occult aspect disappears, and all you have is a killer, and that's it. It's not that scary. Because if you are able to break down who the fuck this killer is, it becomes less scary because then you have a manhunt in them, right? And then you're done. So if we kill the person who has too much information, then you can still run the hysteria, and that's what she's saying. We need to protect her, otherwise, things are gonna go wrong. I would be really sad if he dies, though, because I like her so far.
いざとなったらおとりに使ってしまえばいい。狙われるかどうかはわからんがな。
そんなことできるわけないだろう。
You know, I kind of wonder, what kind of horror stories have killed off the most knowledgeable people and only left the people who are the most confused left over? Isn't that like almost every horror story, though? You kill off researchers, you kill off information on the side, and all you have left is just chaos.
お前は事件の解決に協力してくれるんだろう。言っておくが、いざという時の指示には従ってもらうぞ。
こちらも言っておくがな。私がまず殺したいのは今回の事件の犯人で。
Okay, so the question is why?
その次は有村をはじめとする、そいつらだ。
Okay, so this is information we do not have. So why you want to kill her?
めんどくさいな。
And most likely she's not the murderer now, based on what we're seeing here.
だな。
What was that? I remember reading something about how to tell a liar. And I'm not talking about looking at, like, the eyes looking at different ways and shit like that. I'm not talking about, what do you... Oh, jeez, I should know this because I'm a freaking communication major, but, nonverbal language. I'm not talking about nonverbal language. I'm talking about based on the intentions of how words are formed, how to tell if a liar is telling a story that's truthful or not. And one of the elements of that, supposedly, is whether the person is actively trying to help you in determining who is at fault in a situation. So there are people when you are... How do I explain this? Is it really confusing? Trying to figure out how to explain this one. I understand it in my head, but I don't know how to teach it. Okay, how about this? If you are accusing someone of something, right, and not saying lying, and you talk to a person who's a liar, that person will more likely not try to help you find out who the culprit is. Why? Because if they are a liar and say they are the culprit, right, then they don't want you to find that out. Whereas if the person's not a liar, they're more likely to want you to find the culprit. And so you would look at how language is formed to throw away the fault of the person. So it is not me, essentially, is what's being said. It is something else. I wish I could explain that better. But yeah, once you understand how language is formed to convey an idea and how word choice creates a framework for understanding, then you start to understand how words are like actions, I guess. Yeah, so then, depending on how skilled they are and how much they understand the strength of words, a really good liar would be able to use what I just said, essentially, in reverse. So that would mean that if you're playing a game, as an example, and you want to lie about who's the real culprit, and you are the culprit, what you should be doing instead is giving the idea that you're helping out a lot, that you're trying to find the culprit. And if you do that, then it's harder to determine that you're the culprit. There we go. That's it. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait until there's another game that we play with Trader, and then I get to be like, hey guys, let's help out. I really want to find out who this Trader is. I think it's Sparky the dog. Sparky? I think it's Sparky the dog. The funny thing is, there's this game called, there's a zombie game in winter. I forgot what it's called. And there's this dog called Sparky. And every single time someone has had the dog Sparky, they were the traitor. So the meme has become, if you pick Sparky the dog, you're instantly the traitor, and I'll never trust you. Regardless of how you got that dog, you're just instantly the traitor. I will never, I'll never, no matter how many circumstances say you're not the traitor, I'll say you're the traitor. That's the new meme. I love it. Sparky the dog's the traitor. Oh, Dead of Winter. Yeah, there we go. It's by pure coincidence that the traitor is the person with Sparky the dog. It's just like, why?
てか、みんな思った以上にニコニヤ見てんだな。
うちのクラスの出し物、ゲロカエルン喫茶だろ。
ん？ああ。
ゲロカエルンの再ブームの火付けになった動画、例の記者の渡部が特集したのがきっかけなんだよ。
それでかよ。
宮代、なんですか？文化祭の記録映像、どのくらい進んでる？
Well, I mean, what kind of genre are you looking for? And have you read a lot of visual novels? If I can figure that out, I can give you a suggestion.
ですね。その
But yeah, if you have no preference, I would recommend... So if you care about what I'm talking about, and that's about conveying an idea and the importance of communication, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, right? Then I will recommend Root Double again, which I think is on sale at the very current moment. But if you want to know about things that I really appreciate, Steins Gate Zero I like a lot. Way more than the original, actually.
なんだよ。
Gone through about 20.
どのくらいだ?
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep naming things randomly that I've read, and if you haven't read it, then give it a try. Have you read Sai no Uta? Oh god, maybe not that. What title did I say? I said Root Double. If you haven't read that, give it a try. Steins Gate Zero, I recommend, but you would have to read Steins Gate, the original novel, first.
いや、その
順調に撮ってるよ。どうかしたのか?
If you're interested in... I haven't read Super Shiki Hibi yet, but it's considered to be a really strong work in terms of philosophy. I have no idea. It's also considered a denko? Is that denko? Denko. Okay, there's a genre, blank, whatever that genre means. Higurashi is part of that genre, and so is Subashiki Hibi.
文化祭の閉会式の時、バックに流したらいい演出になるんじゃないかっていう案が出た。できそうか?
The genre is meant to convey that normal everyday things, not slice of life, normal everyday things are absurd or crazy. And its original meaning has something to do with like wearing tinfoil hats and believing that electromagnetic waves would have influenced your behavior.
大丈夫だよな。
Oh, so you read pretty much all the classics already.
おお、多分。
だと。
じゃあ、細かい打ち合わせは明日するから。
Yeah, if you're looking for an interactive, good visual novel with more gameplay, Valhalla is a really good example of that. If you're reading purely for literature, then what I'm suggesting would be good examples as well.
Nanda? なんでもないです。行こう、クルス。クルス?
Yeah, give Root Double a try. Yeah, since you haven't seemed to have heard it. And I guess you weren't there for the first stream, which is perfect.
Takuru.
Yeah, Root Double is also experimental. They take and do something very risky in its depiction. It comes off as a plot-heavy story, and it ends up being the opposite. So that's a literature thing. Either you're plot-heavy or you're character-heavy. And it's very hard to do both, because if you invest too much in plot, it's very hard to invest too much in character. If you invest too much in character, it's very hard to invest too much in plot because of how you're balancing things out and whether you get time to invest in telling a story about a character and who they are and blah blah, blah, right? That's the risk that Root Double takes. They try to do both.
なんだよ。
And I would argue that Root Double isn't a plot-heavy novel. It's a character-based novel. In the end. Yeah, Root Double is where this came from.
ちょっと来て。
It's been a long time since I read Umaneko, but I would be down to read it again. I think it's a valuable work, although I haven't hit the parts where people are most unsettled about, I guess is one way to put it.
何? どうしたんだよ?
Is for character-based novels more? It's fine. Like, I think every good story has to have good characters. You know, that's not true. I'll try that again. I think good stories of good characters are often conveyed very well. No. God, that's a hard one. How do I explain this? Stories of good characters will often do better. How about that?
あれから有村さんと会った？
And that might be with how tastes have changed over time. But that's like a trend that I'm starting to notice, where the emphasis on plot isn't as big anymore, and it's actually really valuable to have characters you can identify with or constructed really well. And if the plot is bad but the character is good, then that's acceptable.
あれからって生徒会室で会ってからってこと？
But I have a harder time finding people who think that if the plot is good but the characters are bad, that is acceptable.
会ってないよ。
そう。
有村さんがどうかしたのか？
事件の動画アップしたでしょ。すぐに削除しなさい。
Okay, so her advice is really important here. So this is probably the turning point. If he actually deletes the video, I think he will be uninvolved in these events, and therefore he won't be targeted. That's essentially what's being said right now, even though that's not what's literally on the page or on the the visuals.
事件を追うのもやめなさい。ラブホテルの一件で懲りたでしょ。
確かに警察には連れて行かれたけど、別に。
I mean, I can give you an example in which I think the plot is good, but the characters are bad. I would say, Shiki.
取り返しのつかないことになる可能性だってあるの。
I'm trying to think of any other major works that have influenced me where the plot is good, but the characters are bad.
Huh?
I feel like the reason why people want good characters is because the amount of time that's invested in a story. Yeah, I said Shiki. I think Shiki is a good example of good plot, bad characters. It doesn't help that Shiki is also part of the horror genre, which has a lot of tropes. So if you're wondering about like logical answers to things, like why don't you just leave the village, or why don't you tell everyone that shit's happening right now to prevent people from dying? You know, those things, those tropes, that's causing issues in like Shiki with its characters. So as an example, hey guys, people are dying. There are bite marks on people's necks. I wonder what could be happening here. These people are getting really sick. Maybe we should have them in specific types of areas to check and see if they're gonna be okay. Super logical things like that, none. Gone. Whatever. Bonkers. But the plot, or I guess the thematic value of Shiki is strong enough to carry the story. So even though characters can be stupid as fuck, they are meant to represent something, and if you recognize that, you can accept Shiki for what it is, which I think is one of the strongest horror anime right now, despite all its weaknesses.
危ないことはしてない。新しくアップした動画だって普通の取材の範囲だったろ。今あの動画はいろいろあって注目されてる。僕はそれに書き込むことしかできない他の連中とは違う。
またそんなことを。子供じゃないんだから。
And the unfortunate tragedy of Shiki, though, is that through proper logic and communication, there could have been an alternative, but there wasn't.
部室に行く。教室に戻るんなら伊藤に先に行ってるって伝えておいて。
And I think that's the point they're trying to make. Yeah, we didn't do much of a scary month, unfortunately. Just October, I've been so damn busy.
タクル、あなたも他の人と違わない。ただの高校生でしょ。
You know, I'm still curious about Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't know if that's actually written well. or if it's all just shock value. I haven't read it, so don't spoil me, but I have a good idea on why people think that thing is worthwhile for me to read. And I want to say that its value is probably shock value. I'd be shocked if the writing was super good.
悪い。
Could be wrong about that though. Who
どうな
knows?
ってる？
さっきもう10万超えちゃったよ。コメントは5000超え。
Also, I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but I'm a little less confident that the thing is written well based on what I understand of the author. And that's not to say that the author can be a good writer. I'm just saying that there's a huge investment into the things that he does that I don't understand how he would have time to work so much on his writing ability. So from what I understand, the author of Doki Doki Literature Club is a programmer, and he does really good things in programming. And programming takes a huge time investment. And so I'm thinking to myself, where would he have the time to write a good story? And how to, like, train that element? So I'm thinking to myself, is this actually good writing, or is he just playing off on shock value? And eventually, you're gonna figure that out. Because after time, if something is just played for shock value, it will not last the chains of time, or whatever the hell that correct quote is. He's an FFC guy, yeah. I think he has something for Smash too. Now, if I'm proven wrong, good. I'll be happy to hear that. Because if someone who's heavily invested in something else is a good writer, then I feel happy. I just like that.
マジじゃねえか。おい、宮代。
落ち着けよ。10万くらいどうってことないじゃないか。
But here's the thing, like, anime is extremely tropey. I hate to say it, but that's true. And if he's playing off of tropes to create his character, yeah, I get it. You can do it. And if he says more than that, cool. That's the correct usage of that. But, like, I am still hesitant because I don't know, I'll read it myself and I'll tell you my real thoughts.
震えてんじゃねえか。
Element of fourth wall breaking. Is it the visual novel from... Why am I blanking out? Is it the visual novel from Nitro Plus, where there's a girl with pink hair and a girl with long purple hair, and... Well, if I tell too much, that's a spoiler, but if I'm mentioning it, there's a very obvious reason why. But yeah, that was a really good term. The writing wasn't good, but the concept was really well done, and so it's a worthwhile read. Yeah, Kimi no Kanojo no Kanojo Koi.
マジでか。渡部の記事のコメントは。
さっき見た感じじゃ炎上してる雰囲気だったけど。うん、やっぱり今もだね。
It's... No, fourth wall breaking, if done correctly, is a really enlightening concept. The way it was handled in Kimi no Kanojo Koi is that it allowed you to understand what you're reading. What are you reading? You're reading a freaking visual novel. Okay. What conventions of a visual novel make a visual novel? This, and this. This is one element that's accepted in the medium, which is saving and making choices and going back to choices. What did this story say about that aspect or the conventions of visual novels to make you think about it? And by making you think about the fact that you are reading a visual novel, and feeling different about it. That was what made that story so powerful. Here's the thing. I highly doubt that story is going to be translated and localized and brought over to America. Why? One, it's extremely graphic at a certain point. Two, it's also 18 plus. Three, I don't think anyone gives a shit, even though I really want to read it myself. So this is what I really recommend that you check out Abandoned if you don't like fourth wall breaking. Look on YouTube right now, type in that title, Kimi no Kanojo no Kanojo Koi, type in English sub, and you'll see exactly the scene I'm talking about. After you see that scene, look up a plot analysis or the basic plot idea of it. Or I can just tell you what that visual novel does. That makes it so relevant. But if I'm talking about it, and you hate fourth wall breaks, look at that video right away. No, just, we'll do it right now. Here. Okay, so the reason why we brought this up is because supposedly Doki Doki Literature Club references this in an ending. This came before Doki Doki Literature Club. And the marketing for this game was done surreptitiously, I guess is one way to put it. So let me figure out how to explain. Originally, when this game was marketed, it was marketed with zero inclusion of what it really meant. And if you know anything about Nitro Plus is a visual novel company that usually is known for very grungy works, so to speak. So if something looks really cute and is made by Nitro Plus, usually you're going like, what the fuck? Why did it make this? It's as if, let me think of an example of this. Isn't that easy? Here, one of the writers who wrote for Nitro Plus at one point was Gen Bushi, right? And whenever you think of him as a writer, you think everyone's gonna die, and then it's gonna be like that shit all over again, okay? So when a story is published by Nitro Plus, you think immediately, okay, this isn't gonna be all happy go lucky butterflies and bullshit, right? There's gonna be something that's gonna happen that's gonna not feel too good. And there's plenty of examples of that. Have you read Sai no Uta? That's Gen Hirobushi. Have you read Phantom Inferno? That's also Gen. Have you read wasn't Steins Gate a Nitro Plus? Might have forgotten about that. I think it is. What else is Nitro Plus? Freaking the character from Muramasa is in Nitro Plus. What else am I forgetting? Tons. Okay, just please take my word for it. Okay, so Kimi to Kanojo no Koi, freaking that's a long ass name, was marketed originally as if it were just a love visual novel, like a honest, innocent romance visual novel, which is like, why are you doing this? We don't give a shit about that. We didn't start loving your company because you just produced the most basic bare bones visual novels that we see all the time. And so people were like, okay, screw that. We don't give a shit about this. And then what happened instead was, okay, people aren't really pre-ordering our visual novel. We gotta change things up. And so they did something different, which was they gave a clue that this isn't what it looks like. This isn't a visual novel about lovey people, blah, 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 and high school romance and shit like that, okay? So here's a warning. If you are concerned about content that might be graphic and or okay, yeah, how about graphic warning? How about that? Okay, that's all I'm saying. There is no sex in what I'm showing you. There is no nudity in what I'm showing you. But they're talking about something really inappropriate. And that is a spoiler for Kimi to Kanojo no Koi. So if you can read Japanese, don't even look at this video. If you can't, I'm showing this to you because I highly doubt this will ever get localized. So here's an example something that's a deconstruction of the medium, which is a visual novel. And I'm telling you, this is a good example of a fourth wall break because it changes the entire way of you watching and reading a visual novel now. Okay, so now I need to kill off the sound of this. How do I do that? So this is the sound here. Bam. You can't see that. That's good. Let me see how I can show you the video. I don't actually know. Maybe it has to be on this over here. Okay, so now that I move it to that side, can I show you what I'm talking about? Nope, still shows no camera. Let me see if that's... Nope, that's not that. It's not this either. So I guess the question is, why isn't it showing? What is causing that issue where I cannot show a screen capture? If I showed a screen capture of the desktop, would that work? Yep. Okay. Okay, so just to double check, you guys can hear what I'm saying, right? Should be the case. Okay. Hopefully it isn't too loud. I actually can't even tell if you can hear this. Let me just double check the sound. Yeah, you can. I can't hear it though. Okay, once again, this is an 18+ visual novel. You're not gonna see nudity. You're not gonna see anything that would be illegal on Twitch, so don't worry about that.
充電完了なの。ビリビリいっぱい。1なら今度ほんとデートするの。ヘアピンつけるの。
Okay, so obviously this would be like the ending sequence to a route in a visual novel. And once this video is done, I'll give you context of the story.
違う。裏切ったわね。待ってなさい。下から取ってくるから。しんいち、どこ行くの？ ゆき。しんいちは、みゆき、好きなの？やっぱり、葵、嫌いなの？捨てるの？みゆきは、大切な、親友なの。でも、お願い。今は、忘れて。眠るの。まだ。うん。待たせたわね。残念だったわ。私の邪魔をするんだもの。あんなに可愛いけれど、仕方がないわよね。ルラ。ベルが、どうしたの？
Yeah, without context, this is gonna be confusing,
合わせてあげ
but
る。
it's gonna make sense when she speaks after a while.
ねえ、しんいち。私か
Okay,
ら
if you
のプ
just
レゼ
popped
ント。
in, we're talking
まだだっ
about
たよね。
fourth wall
あ
breaking
げる。
and how it can be done well.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear しんいち。Happy birthday to you. 何が起こったかわからない？目が見えない上に痛すぎて感覚が消えてるのね。私が殴ったのは、しんいち、あなたよ。葵は死んじゃったから、死体を殴っても意味ないし。見たい？見たいの？あなたの目で。こんなにグロい画像を見せたら倫理審査で弾かれちゃうかもね。モザイクかかっちゃうわ。あれ？この世界、ゲームじゃなかったんだったかしら。 私、おかしいわよ。正常でこんなことができたら、逆に変よね。あなたが、バッティングセンターに私を置き去りにして、屋上で葵とセックスしてたって知ったとき、本当なら、その時、すでにおかしくなってたのかもね。永遠の愛を誓った相手に裏切られる苦痛。あなたにも、わかるんだったかしら？私は考え直したの。葵には大きな隠し事がある。あなただって悪意があったわけじゃない。だから、もう一度だけチャンスをあげようって。私が噂を流したり、コンビニにあなたを連れて行ったりしなかったら、きっとあなたは気づかなかったでしょ？葵が、他の男とセックスをしてること。マンションで浮気の証拠をつかんで、あなたが復讐の決意を固めたとき、私は天にも昇る気持ちだったわ。復讐計画。私が随分手助けしたわよね。あなたの心のケアもちゃんとして。ね。今日の誕生日パーティーは、今までのどんな舞台よりも喜びを押し隠すのが難しかった。せっかくだから、二人の破局の瞬間まで、この目で見たいのは当然よね。階段の脇で、ずっと成り行きに聞き耳立ててた。葵がリビングを出た時は焦ったわ。すぐに階段を上がって、ベッドの下に隠れて。龍次郎と葵がセックスを始めた時は、さすがにびっくりしたけど、天にも昇る気持ちだったわね。これで、新一は葵に愛想を尽かした。念願かなって、私たちはやっと結ばれる。あなたが、この部屋にやってくるまでは、そう思ってた。ねえ、想像できる？ベッドの下の私が、どんなことを考えてたか。愛する人が、すぐ何センチか上で、他の女の性器に口つけて、他の男の性器吸い取ってるのよ。そこまでして、他の女の気を引こうとしてるのよ。私は何もできないの。ただ黙ってベッドの下で祈るだけなの。私は、新一を信じてる。だからあなたは最後の最後で私を選ぶ。そう自分に言い聞かせながら、あなたたちがヘコヘコ腰を振ってるのをじっと聞いてるしかないの。やめて！葵に愛を誓わないで！願いは届かないわ。それじゃあ何？私って一体何なの？ついさっきまで、やっとあなたと結ばれるって、息を殺して喜びの涙を流してた私は、一体何なの？永遠の愛を誓い合った人が、私の真上で裏切ってるの。これでおかしくならないでいられる？ねえ！私との愛の誓いを破った。裏切り者だもの。当然でしょ？私はね、あなたに言ってるんじゃないわ。
This is my favorite part.
君に言ってるんだよ。最初のルートで私に永遠の愛を誓った 君に。新一じゃ絶対に選べなかった選択肢を選んだ君に。ねえ、君は覚えてるでしょ？演劇が終わった後、こぼれ落ちそうな満天の星のもと、永遠の愛を誓ったあのキス。君はね、ずっとずっと永遠に私のルートに入る選択肢だけを選んでいればよかったの。それが永遠の愛を誓った君の務めでしょ？私がどれだけ青いルートを阻止しようとしたか、君ならわかるわよね。なのにどうして私の気持ちに応えてくれないの？言ってよ！ねえ、私が誰より好きだって！それはあなたの答えよね。君はそうは思ってない。どうせデータをロードし直してまたやり直せばいいとか思ってるんでしょ？君は私を裏切った。
There's so much fun context to this game. I'll explain. I promise.
たっぷり復習してあげる。あなたがただのアバターだっていうのは分かってるけど、感情が納得しないの。だから、バイバイ。大丈夫。またやり直せばいいんだから。バグは潰しちゃいましょ。もしもし、神様？私の記憶をセーブして、そろそろ始めましょう。私がスマホで改造したゲーム、君と彼女と彼女の恋のアップデートをね。ハッピーバースデー。
Okay, so this is me starting the game. If I were playing this game.
「セーブもロードもできないわよ。そういう風にゲームを書き換えたの。何回ロードしようとしても無駄。バグじゃないわ。仕様です。
Okay, so that's a fourth wall break. And you said that you didn't enjoy fourth wall breaks. This is how they function. Obviously, they're supposed to call attention to the thing you're doing, right? We are playing a visual novel, in which case, the fourth wall break is there to make it obvious that you are playing a visual novel. The whole concept of this game, Kimi to Kanojo no Koi, is that it wants to make you actually understand that there are some conventions in a visual novel that they want to break. So the first one is, how do you approach this game? Typically in a visual novel, when you join a route, you're stuck on that route, and when you finish that route, you can go on to another one, right? That's essentially how this game works. There's two ways you can do it, right? If you go the wrong direction, the wrong direction, right? I'll put quotes on that, which is you go towards Aoi's route, and then you go towards the character that you just saw, her route, right? Then you can just leave the game, and then you've had your basic visual novel experience. One route and then the other. There's only two girls in this game. If you went to the girl's route that you just saw right now, you finish her route, you promise her love, and then you try to get onto the other route, there's going to be a lot of funky things that are going to happen. One, everything's going to seem okay, but there's some really odd irregularities that don't seem to make sense, which is, I keep trying to go onto Aoi's route, but why does she always try to prevent me from doing so? And they don't make it obvious that she remembers that you finished her route the first time, right? She makes it so hard for you to get onto the second girl's route that people had to look up a guide on how the fuck do I get onto the second route, because for some reason the game won't let me. They thought the game wouldn't let them. That is not the case. It's the character who didn't want to let you go onto the second route. That was a really fun concept. So the Aoi's route is funky. She's an airhead. You can probably already tell that. But she does something that's unique to her character, which is, for some reason, she believes that when she talks on a cell phone, she is talking to God. And God is the creator of her world. Duh, right? Who is God to her? It's the writer. It's the visual novel writer. The person who literally wrote this story, and therefore the characters, right? So then, at this point in time, when you finally did absolutely everything to break onto this route, you've gone out of your way to betray the very first person you promised your love to, right? You, the player, not you, the character in the game. So now this has happened. And so you cannot proceed through the game right now because she's bugged your game. And there's like a specific type of code in the game that will not allow you to go anywhere else, and you're stuck here. So how do you solve that? How you solve that is you have to recognize that there was a message that you got within the game, and that message is a code. And that code is not obvious. You're supposed to call God on your phone, and then you'll be given an answer. And then that answer will unlock the true ending of this game. The true ending of this game, because this game will never get localized, I promise you, is you have to make a choice. And that choice is 100% permanent. So, you choose at the very end of the game which girl you care the most about. As simple as that. And I think if I were to make that choice, I would choose the girl who just murdered you. Honestly, I would. Because she is so interesting in how she influences how this game works. Okay. Now, to make this game matter more to the player, they also put in another line of code. The idea is that once you choose a character, it's permanent. It's the person you truly love. And then the game deletes itself. And then you can't play it anymore. Unless specifically you delete the file within the game to let you delete every single thing, every single like save point, every single thing, and you start the game again. But once you make that choice at the very end of the game, you cannot play the game again. All right. So then, there's some type of specific type of line that's said at the end of the true route of this game, where something about 10 years later, and then this game was released about 10 years ago. So guess what happened? I think it might have been 7 years ago and someone sped up time. I'm not sure. It was something funky.
お久しぶりだね。君は変わりない？うん。そうだよね。あれから ずいぶん経ったもんね。もしかしてこの PC も変わってる？そっちの世界のことはわかんない
What
な。
is upper face?
でも、いいよ。ずっとずっと待ってたから。その分いっぱい一緒にいよう。
Like how that video transitions to the scary face. Okay, so anyway. That was a really worthwhile fourth wall break because there's a few visual novel conventions that we've gotten so used to, right? As in, you're allowed to make certain choices and go back on them. And if you make a mistake, you're allowed to go back on it. If you make a choice, you're allowed to go back on it. If you want to experience every single route, you're allowed to do that. Even though you promise love to one girl, you can promise love to another, you can promise love to another. And certain visual novels have tried to address this thing, this convention that we're so damn used to, right? For example, in my opinion, there's this one visual novel that's been localized already. It's called I forgot what the actual Japanese name was, but it's like the drug that makes you dream, okay? And the thing that that visual novel wants you to recognize is that every single girl and every single route that you do, they all have problems. And by choosing one route, you save one person, but you don't save the others. The idea that you're helping someone get through their problems by choosing their route, but you have to realize that because you invested time with one person, the other two people, based on what you learn about them, don't get their happy ending. That's the concept. That's the idea that these conventions that make the visual novel, the medium that you are reading, accepted is these elements of it. And so that's a good example of a fourth wall break because it makes you think about the medium. It makes you think about what is considered normal within the work that you're reading. And there's some concepts that I think you would agree with, right? So making choice matter again. I want that to exist. And so if more visual novels like this pop up, where suddenly once you make a choice, you can never go back on it, that would mean that you're able to have a unique experience that no one else would have. That's a really cool concept. I like that a lot. And you can argue that, when I experience a visual novel, I have my own unique experience. And that's true. You'll have your own personal experience, how you read it. Maybe you're reading on a stream like we're doing right here. Maybe you read it alone. Maybe you'll read it at a very painful time in your life, and that visual novel will be really helpful, right? Those are your personal experiences. But the conventions of a visual novel allow you to always go back on your choices. And so the argument was, do these choices that influence your unique perspective, do they actually matter? And so people have said no, and people have said yes. And there have been attempts at deconstructing the visual novel genre to portray different perspectives on it. And the one you just saw was one such example of that. And again, if you just pop into the stream, that visual novel was originally marketed as just a romance high school love story. That was it. But the thing was, you have to immediately recognize that it was published by a company that never does that, right? So either they were going to do it terribly or they were going to do it with their own spin on it. And they did. And that's why people like Nitro Plus. That's why I like Nitro Plus, because it makes me think. It also makes me feel sick. And it also makes me feel uncomfortable. But that's the point. That's why you read them. If you can recognize that even though you feel uncomfortable, that it was written really well, then good. That's awesome. I enjoy that aspect of it. That there can be something very beautiful and something very grotesque. That's also Kimi no Kanojo. And I wish that visual novel would have been localized because it asks you to do so many things that are personal to you. I don't know how many people chose Aoi, right? I don't know why you would personally feel connected to that character. But if you did, and you chose her at the very end, that's a choice you live with. That's it. There. You've made that choice, and you stuck with it. That's a cool concept. I would have chosen the other girl, because she's written really well, and she makes that game. She makes that game. She is so interesting to me. But anyway, that's a fourth wall break that makes you think about the medium that you're engaged in, and it's very valuable. It's not just someone in a movie theater, in a movie that you're watching, right? Going, hey guys, did you have your popcorn today? That does nothing. I don't care if I'm watching a movie, if you just do that. But if you look back at the camera, and then you look forward, or something like that, and the direction of the movie wants you to really think about the fact that you're watching a movie, for whatever reason, right? Whether it be about choice, which is what that visual novel we just saw is about. It's about choice, and whether it has meaning or not. But if the movie does a bad fourth wall break, it doesn't make you think. If it does a good fourth wall break, suddenly you're thinking. And that's what I love. That's a really hard thing to do, in my opinion, a good fourth wall break. Okay, now that I said that, let's go back. I took, 20 minutes just to say that. But if you are interested in more about Kimi to Kanojo no Koi, that's a very long-ass name, look it up, because I guarantee you that's not going to come to America. But it's something that I really value in how you engage in writing and the medium. I'm under the impression, based on what I've read, that DD Doki Doki Loki Literature Club, whatever it's called, Doki Doki Literature Club, does the same thing as a reference. And the reason why we brought that scene up in the first place was, one, someone said they don't like fourth wall breaks. I gave them an example of a fourth wall break that I thought was really important and really well done. Second, I said that I am unsure if the Doki Doki Literature Club writer is writing something that's really well done, or if it's only shock value, okay? So if it's just shock value, then I don't think it's going to last past its time. It's not going to have a place in the canonical visual novel history of things. I'm saying that sarcastically because I don't think there actually is one. There might be. There's a lot of good visual novels out there. I'm essentially saying, is Doki Doki Literature Club really all that good? I don't know. And I'm going to read it. And I'm really hoping that it is, right? I would love to be proven wrong that my assumption about Doki Doki Literature Club as something that's just shock value and as something that might not be written well because I'm unsure if the guy who has put in so much time into programming, I value this guy because he's added so many extra elements to Twitch. And apparently he also helped out with the Smash community. Cool by me, whatever. If he can be a good writer, because a writer takes a lot of work. And if he can juggle both that, experience of programming, and this, being a good writer, then I will have tons of respect for that person. But there are things stacked up against him. And to me, they're the things I just mentioned. So if he can break through that stereotype of, I don't know, it's not really a stereotype. This is just me saying these are the situations here that I would like to be proven wrong about. And if Doki Doki Literature Club breaks the things I would like to be proven wrong about, then good. You know, I don't want that thing just to be shock value, especially since that visual novel is a Western visual novel. And there's not that many out there that are considered really good. And if that is going to be something that breaks that assumption, then cool. I mean, like, you didn't even have to tell me about it. Like, how people are approaching that visual novel immediately makes me think there has to be some type of shock value. Because it looks like this, but it's probably not that. And I've seen it many times already. Alright, see you, Cosmo Joe. Glad that you popped by, man. This is another thing, too, that I'm really concerned about. And I think her name was Miyuki, right? In the visual novel video that I just showed you. Miyuki, at that point in time, you would consider a yandere archetype. And if you don't know what a yandere archetype is, then go ahead and look it up. But I'm really concerned about that archetype because I don't think it gets expanded well. Whereas other archetypes like tsundere, kudere, whatever, get expanded upon and they have depth. I feel like the yandere archetype is one of the archetypes in anime and visual novels, blah, blah, right? That doesn't get the same kind of love. That it doesn't try to explain the perspective in a way that makes it empathetic to a normal viewer. And that's concerning, because if the archetype is just, to you, a bunch of psychos that kill each other for the wrong reasons, then it hasn't been expanded upon. And one, I find that concerning, because some people really do relate to those characters who are so obsessed about the idea of love that they would kill for it. But there's more to that. How would you even have that kind of mentality in the first place? Well, it could be because psychological issues, mental issues, health-wise, right? It could be that this person has never experienced love in their entire life, and then finally, after all the abuse that they had growing up, they met someone that actually meant something to them. And then this happened instead, and it felt like it was a betrayal to their entire life. Not a personal betrayal, but one that was saying that I never had a chance, or I never had a chance to be loved because things were set up in a certain way. That's a different kind of mentality, by the way, but that's the idea that life is not a random amount of events. It's events given to you by fate, right? So if I have no love when I grow up, that's fate. If I have no chance to meet someone I love, that's fate. I will never ever have love in my life. That's fate. If you're thinking about that specific kind of mindset, it is predetermined. I will never ever feel the thing that I want the most. So that kind of framing of the thought process makes sense. And I'm saying that the archetype for yanderes don't get that. And that kind of hurts, actually. That's really depressing. Because I think a lot of you can kind of understand that mentality. That it seems that for some reason, I will never ever get the one thing that I want the most in my life. You can get that, right? Yeah, so I'm pretty damn sure a yandere is in Doki Doki Literature Club. And I love that archetype, but I think it's written in a way that hurts people, unfortunately.
10万って新記録だろ。副部長の渋谷復興動画の5万が今までの最高記録だもんな。
The Gacha Desire Sensor.
素直にこの記事のインパクトってわけじゃないだろう。どっちかっていうと渡部がパクったって騒いでる奴らが多いってだけで。
That actually might be the number one thing that's gonna hold me back from whether I consider Doki Doki Literature Club worthwhile.
バカ、それでも10万は10万だろ。しかもこの短時間にコメントだってめちゃめちゃ来てんだぞ。
It's funny too because this visual novel
そうだけどさ
that we're reading right now has prompted so many conversations, and I don't know if that's because this visual novel is really worthwhile or just because I'm thinking so much. What do you guys think, who've been like here since the beginning? I had to talk about a lot of concepts that this VN has made me think about, and I don't know if that's something that will be proven to be true later on in this game. If that's the case, good, right? We're talking about the occult and the mixing of technology and how it will create this new type of horror setting, and how they purposely circumnavigate around technology that would make you feel safe, and they turn it against you. I'm telling you how this horror is constructing itself. That's what I'm doing. And that's probably how it's gonna go. This game doesn't seem like it's unaware of itself.
まるっきり炎上マーケティングみたいだ。
Are marketing strategies that involve starting flame wars to increase sales or awareness of a product? Okay, I know exactly what they're talking about. Okay.
Huh?
この渡部の記事がだよ。渡部が本当に記事をパクったかどうかはわからないけど。
いや、それはないだろう。素人のやつをパクった炎上を利用するって ネットの記者とはいえありえないだろう。それに炎上なんかで騒ぎを集めなくても渡部は十分知名度あるだろう。スクープ連発してんだから。
They're saying that this guy, Tomoaki Watabe, he's that super nosy reporter for Nico Nico that pops into crime scenes, which is incredibly rude, and that also talks about how incompetent the police are in this visual novel. He's possibly plagiarized his idea, which he's bringing up in his article here.
しかも俺らの動画アップしたの一昨日だろ。再生数もほとんどなかったし、渋谷ニュースで再生数伸びたって言っても今朝の話だ。この記事なんて明らかにそこから用意したものじゃねえだろ。
A famous person had to be a target, and the mainstream media had to get involved. Okay. Yeah, but man, how do you guys feel that that visual novel is never gonna get localized? I felt super depressed about that when I realized that's never gonna come to America. It's such a cool concept.
せっかくなんだ。見てくれた人のコメントから情報を漁ろうぜ。ほら、力士シールのこと書き込んでくれてるやつもいる。おい、宮代、チャンスなんだろ。
やけに元気だなお前。
は？そうか？
Yeah, that's true. This genre is so niche, man.
しんちゃんが前に作った動画100いかなかったもんね。
Yeah, from what I understand, the strength of that visual novel rides entirely on the fourth wall break and how it made you think about the visual novel in general. Up until that point, it played off really plainly.
別にそれは関係ねえよ。
But it set it up for that, and I really respect that. I mean, that's fine. You can still feel attached to a character regardless of their gender, or sexuality, or religion, or culture, or race. You'll find that a lot in visual novels, in my opinion. And how certain companies have moved away from adult themes, and by adult themes I mean sex, have made it easier to create a market for mainstream audiences, because if you're having adult scenes in a visual novel, obviously a certain age demographic can't read it. That's obvious, right? I'm saying that breaking away from that has allowed them to appeal to a wider audience, and I'm saying that you can be part of that audience.
見るなよ。ほら、文化祭の映像撮んのに時間取られたんだから、とっととやるぞ。
Besides, not all VNs are romance visual novels. That's a stereotype. Or dating sims. Yeah, and the moment I said that, we have a choice of positive or negative. And again, gameplay elements that give you clues on the actual story. So I've rarely done negative, but I like Hana because she barely even talks. But based on the main character, whenever he's given these choices, he goes super trope heavy. Again, it's really relevant to his character. This guy has very little experience. So here, positive or negative? I guarantee you positive is going to be something sexual and not like nudity. I'm just saying something it's gonna be fan service related. I would love to be proven wrong though. Negative? Maybe murder? What would be considered negative about this character? She doesn't even talk. No, seriously, I haven't heard her talk once. Come on guys, positive or negative? There's only like a 10-second delay. It should take that long.
Bullshit! Just do it quick.
One for positive, one for negative, one for negative. Okay, I'll give 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Negative it is.
渡部の記事の画像適当にプリントアウトしてくれ。
うん。
So the thing about this game is that these positive and negative choices don't seem to have an influence on what's actually happening, because it breaks away and it says here's what actually happens, and we don't know how these choices affect the story yet.
ほら早く動画を確認しろよ。
I mean, I can fathom an idea, but the game itself has not clearly stated that. Oh, trust me, it'll be negative and it'll be obvious when. There we go. Yeah, even the music changed. That's unusual.
サムネイルは飛ばしてくれ。
オッケー。私もやだもん。渡部パクってんじゃねえよ。こっちの方が本当に早いの。マスゴミ被害者はこちらです。
Okay, this is not so bad. It's just negative perceptions of... Oh, it's just influencing what you're reading in the comments section. This actually might be important.
渡部とかダブスタの風見鶏だろ。あんな嘘つき野郎の信者がうじゃうじゃ湧いてきて気持ち悪い。動画の内容そっちのけで渡部の信者とアンチがやり合ってるな。
むしろ信者の数が多くてアンチが一方的にボコられてないか。
コメント数の違いははっきり出てる。数が多いのか一部の信者が熱心にたくさん書き込んでるのかはわからんが。
渡部の信者ってどれぐらいいるんだろう。
テレビに出てるぐらいだぜ。結構多いはずだ。っていうかさ、俺ら大丈夫だよな。
何が？
ほら、俺らって動画をアップする時のアカウント、壁宝学園新聞部ってちゃんと名前出してるだろ。
Okay, so he's worried that because we're part of Hekiho, and this famous celebrity has put so many freaking commenters on this video that it might influence us. How?
信者が押しかけてきたらどうする？
I mean, that is possible, but really?
いくらなんでもそれはないって。
そうか？10万再生だぜ。10万人が見たとは言わないけど、それでも1万人ぐらいは見てるだろう。
Okay, I think they're overstretching things though, because logically 100,000 views is not going to be enough people.
渡部の記事から飛んできたってコメントも多いんだ。渡部信者が見てる率は結構高いはずだ。
Well, I mean, they're in Japan, smaller. Whatever, it's not a problem in my opinion. Oh, okay, so there's a problem with... There's a glitch in this game where their voices can be killed at certain points.
考えすぎだ。被害妄想だよ。
I hope so. I'm kind of scared, though. It feels like someone stared at me 100,000 times. It just feels weird and creepy.
言いたいことはなんとなくわかるけど、それこそ自意識過剰だと思う。
If you say so, Chris. I guess I'm just a little scared, since we got, 100,000 views. We must be extremely popular.
ねえ。なんか外騒がしくない？
ん？
Man, fuck Capcom. What the fuck is the Mind Stone, man? Yo, but the Soul Stone is better.
Okay, wow, okay.
渡部さんを批判するクソガキども、出てこい！盗撮は犯罪です。
Put Sagat in Street Fighter 5. Give him a gun!
壁氷学園新聞部は土下座して謝れ
I want more DLC costumes.
壁氷学園新聞部は我々による正義の裁きを受けよう
I was a really huge fan of Chun-Li's movement, but especially that phase.
Bullshit!
Well, what the? Okay, turn this thing on. Oh no, there's over 100 people out there. They've got signs. One of them said "Kill Chris." I guess I'll be doing them a favor.
嘘だろ。どうするって。どうするって言っても、のこのこ出てったら、それこそボコボコにされそうじゃないか。
なんでこんなことになってるの？
知らないよ。
渡部だ。あいつら渡部信者に違いない。もしかしたら渡部自身が信者ともけしかけたのかも。
けしかけたって何の話だ？
俺たちを殺せってけしかけたかもしれないだろってことだよ。
怒鳴らないでよ。
Yeah. Anyway, so obviously he has a perspective that's incredibly unrealistic.
とにかく逃げよう。集団心理は恐ろしいんだ。普段どれだけ冷静な人たちでも集団になった途端に狂気に支配されてしまう。あの連中と冷静に話し合えるとは思えない。このままじゃ僕ら殺される。だから逃げよう。
宮代拓郎だぜ伊藤真二、クルスノノ、尾上セリカ、和樹花、以上の犯罪者どもは出てこーい。
I mean, are our names published on the news? Probably, right? We've all written something. Even Gamer Girl.
なんであの人たち私たちの名前知ってるの？
なんだよ。これが10万再生のツケっていうのかよ。ふざけんなよ。
Man, shit, 100,000 views? How many do I have on our channel? We have like in the millions, right? Yeah, every single time I leave my house, I'm scared. People might notice me. I've had tons of people say, "Oh my god, you're Koopa, aren't you?" I love your interpretation of Kimi to Kanojo. I now want to read more visual novels about yandere. It's like, oh cool, you know, shit, thank you.
Bullshit!
God. I wish.
おい、やばいぞ。あいつら中に入ってきた。
You know, I'm still trying to think. How often do we have competent police in horror? It's not often, right? It just seems to be like a thing. And it makes sense. I understand why. It's just... Man, if you only watched horror, then you would have a very skewed perception of society, I guess. Same thing with, like, how in thrillers, there's so many people who are police officers, you know? And you would think, oh, there's tons of people in the police or something.
警察に？
そんな暇ない。どうにかしないと。
どうするつもりだよ。
立てこもるしかないだろ。見つかったら終わりだ。
でもあいつら新聞部を標的にしてるんだぞ。それなら真っ先にこの部室に来ちまうじゃないか。
そうだけど。どうしよ
う。You know, so far this is actually extremely normal.
もう来た。
He's had visions of frogs choking people to death.
バレてる。俺らがここにいることバレてる。
Yeah, frogs, like ribbit, ribbit.
宮代、どうすんだよ。逃げ場はないぞ。
Yeah, the reason why is because his classroom is running a frog cafe for their school festival. It's really random, I know, but there's a frog keychain that's really popular in their city.
おい、宮代。
わからないって僕に聞くなよ。
Amazing. I like that theme. What's up?
もしもし。
タクル、助けて。
Oh god, this is getting worse.
クルス、助けて、どういう。今どこだ。
体育倉庫、たくさんの人に追われて閉じこもったんだけど、あの人たち何なの。
今すぐ逃げろ。そいつら僕らを目の敵にしてる。
無理よ。外囲まれてる。
そんな。
ねえタクル、助けてよ。私怖い。
Okay, realistically, if there's a bunch of people crowding around the school, someone would have called the cops already.
なんで黙るの。ねえ何か言ってよ。助けに来てよ。
くそ。クルス、逃げてくれ。頼む。頼む。
扉ダメ、こじ開けられる。ねえタクル、早く来て。このままじゃ怖いよ。
クルス。
やめて、来ないで。タクル、助けてタクル。
クルス。
Well, that's not how a phone would hang up anymore. They're using cell phones. I mean, well, they can at least do one thing, which is disperse a crowd, right?
こんな理不尽なことあってたまるか。こんなことならクルスの忠告ちゃんと聞いておくんだった。
Well, that's not entirely true, but that scenario that he depicted wouldn't be something realistic.
お前、そこら辺のどうでもいい議論はスルーして、シールで検索かけてくれ。
オッケー。
Oh shit, my favorite line. So, how do you feel about having more DLC in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
オッケー。
ろくな情報がないな。
How do you think Venom will be in terms of strength in MVCI? Do you think that Captain America is strong? How do you feel about Monster Hunter, the character?
オッケー。あ、これは？
力士シールの作者なんて K-Lex だろ。超着オツ。ね。
K-Lex?
このアドレスは？
飛んでみる？
Just a link with no explanation?
ちょっと待ってくれ。
I mean, this is the school computer, right? We don't care about viruses. Let's go.
単にアマブロのアドレスだよな。
オッケー。
Oh my god, this line is so great. I love Serica. She has the best lines. Sumo sticker hunter. How do you feel about puns? How do you feel about really well-written stories?
オッケー。
Serica, we're like meant to be with each other.
なんだここ。
She's mostly said okay and
力士シールを特集してるページみたいだね。
I knew that line was coming, Oro. I put that sound effect way before you wrote that line. I knew it already.
?このシールの目は滅びを予見し、これを未然に防ぐためのもの。2015年の人類滅亡の予言は被害はあったものの、これによって守られた。
Oh, so his interpretation is the reverse. He's saying that these stickers aren't acts. Okay, they're not at positions to indicate that someone will get hurt. It's to say that this is a dangerous area. How do I explain this? Okay, it's saying there's a warning. There's going to be something that's going to happen here. Please don't be there. And if you're there, you'll get hurt.
2015年の人類滅亡の予言？エジプト歴の人類滅亡説か。
よく知ってるね。
常識だよ。
Yeah, man, I remember our school internet banned everything.
色使いといい。ちょっと来てるな、ここの管理人は。
そういえば渋谷ってクラッシュの時あまり大きな騒ぎにならなかったよね。歴史シールって太陽嵐を軽減する効果でもあるのかな。
渋谷の被害が少なかったのは単に復興計画で街が整備されていたおかげだよ。これは単なる結界説。
結界説？
相撲の発祥が神事であったことから、相撲を行う力士をモデルとした力士シールに宗教的な意味を持たせてあちこちに貼ることによって結界を築いているんだっていう説だよ。
Okay.
宗教的な意味って？
I didn't know sumo wrestlers had some type of religious meaning at the beginning. Really? Did anyone know that? The hell?
とにかく結界説はナンセンスなんだ。力士シールって呼ばれてるけど、力士をモデルにしたっていう証拠はないんだから。
Oh, if you're talking about the people who were outside of the school, that was just a delusion. It's not actually real.
ふーん。
Is the Shinto religious, right? Really?
これは？
なんだ？知ってるぞ。
知ってるの？作者。
え
？Who made the sumo stickers? New. Okay.
いや、勘違いだ。進めてくれ。
オッケー。
巷で言われているように、力士シールの作者は KLX ではない。
Let me try to read this. It's actually really hard for me to. As I said in my last entry, I'm going to go into more detail about the sumo stickers. First, I'd like to answer a question that's on the mind of everyone who visits here. Who made the sumo stickers? Many people seem to get this wrong, but the creator of the sumo stickers is not, in fact, KLX. There is no proof that he or perhaps she is the creator of the stickers. This is KLX's homepage. There are several images in the gallery that are similar to the sumo stickers, but none of the sumo stickers themselves. As an artist, KLX has put a focus on symmetry in order to achieve eerie effects in many of their illustrations. Of course, that explains why they're similar to the sumo stickers. It's likely that a careless remark by someone who doesn't know the truth of the sumo stickers was the source of the rumor that KLX created them. But then, if it wasn't KLX, who did create them? I know who. In fact, I've made contact with them. As I said before, the sumo stickers represent God himself. You know this person? Interesting, okay. History tells us that every prophet is mistreated in their own time. The prophet suffers even now. They were sacrificed to the rest of humanity in order to build the barrier. I won't say their name here, but the creator is located within AH Tokyo General Hospital. We can go to the hospital and find this person?
This 結界を築くために人類の犠牲になったのだ。その犠牲となった尊敬すべき作者は
こ
れ AH 総合病院にその身を置いている。
タク。
おい、宮代。宮代って。
She never speaks. Oh man, if you didn't have such cute headphones or something, I'd probably like you less. Whatever, you're fine, I guess.
なんだよ。
やべえぞ、これ。
Does she even say her name? Maybe she's mute. Wait, no, she can make sounds.
やっぱり。おい、これ見てみろって。
どうしたんだよ。
What is he talking about?
ここ。
Oh, he's talking about how. Well, I'll keep going. Okay, so again, we have the infusion of, this time, religion with technology. Supposedly these stickers are cameras. But if they're indicators of trying to protect something, which can be true, right? If these are security cameras being put into a sticker, it makes sense. But I don't think that's the case here. I still think they're used to publish murders. It's not that if I put a sticker here, that I'm trying to prevent said murder. That hasn't happened 3 times in a row now. Or maybe this is how it works. This is extremely, I have like no evidence for this. Maybe there's a psychic in this visual novel, and they see places where things would happen, and they put stickers there to warn people, but regardless, things still happen. That's not good enough, though. Like,
かしいな。ここにねえってことは。
Okay, so we're black at the clinic.
No. 次々来やがる。ここにもね。おい、ノノ。
もうちょっとだから。
So Nono still lives at the orphanage? Really?
ちげえよ。薬がどこ行ったかって。
I mean, that's assuming that the sumo wrestlers are religious. But even without that, there's an interpretation that they still are religious because of how the third eye means God. Because the third eye is about the eye of, you know, seeing things on your forehead. I'm not sure how it would connect though, but also like how the hair parts looks like a temple, and it's a temple above God, according to the person's reading on the sticker. I cannot really explain it as well as I can, as well as the book has, the visual novel has. Sorry.
お前な、おばあちゃんじゃねえんだから、肉とかよ。
腹回りの贅肉を減らしてから言ってちょうだい。嫌ですからね、老後に高血圧治療の面倒見るの。
食べ盛りもいるってのに。ああ、しょ。
どうしたの？
老気ないが見当たらねえんだよ。
何、頭痛？
あ
あ、確か。ってちょっと待って。もしかして二日酔い？父さん、そもそも課長で医者であるあなたが病院の仕事手伝ってるとはいえ、見習い看護師以下で娘である私に薬の場所を聞くのも問題ですけど。
She does look kind of annoyed, but it's so cute.
よりによって二日酔いですって？昨日の夜、残った事務仕事を私が片付けてる時に晩酌してたの？
いや、仕事は俺だってしてたぞ。
じゃあ仕事中に飲んでたってことね。そんな酔っ払いに出せる薬はありません。あと。
はあ？おい、ノノ、冗談だろ。
できた。二人とも呼んできて。ごちそうさま。おいしかった。ごちそうさま。はい、お粗末さま。お茶入れるね。ゆう、手伝って。
Wow, this is possibly the most comfy orphanage I've ever seen.
ノノ、明日の夕飯は先に食べてていいぞ。最近バタついてるからよ。
嫌です。温め直すのめんどくさいもの。バラバラに食事するのって好きじゃないの。できるだけ家族揃って食べたい。でもバタついてるってどうしたの？
大学の後輩が渋谷でやってる医院もそうだし、ここらのでっけえ病院、代々木の AH 東京総合病院とかよ。最近ノノ？
あ、ごめん。それで？
ま、復興祭が近いから浮かれて怪我するやつが増えてるんじゃねえかとか、それに合わせて例の証拠群をもう一度見直す動きがあるとか、いろいろ言われてんだけどよ。
I'm confused. What is he talking about? The clinic is one of my old university buddy runs. Sorry, it should be a busy too. And the big hospitals around here, like AH Tokyo, for instance, they have been busy lately. So okay, why are they busy lately? It's because of this.
見直すって6年経って今さら？
わかりやすく復興して治ってんのは町の外観だ。ここはそう簡単に治らねえからな。うちの患者は別に普段と変わらねえんだけどよ。その後輩やら知り合いやらからなんだかんだと頼まれるのが多くなってんだよ。
どうしたのこの梨。パーラー西野で安売りしてたの。いただきまーす。
Oh man, pears are one of my favorite fruits. Pears, mangoes, strawberries. Wait.
甘くて美味しい。
Wait, hang on. Is this strawberry?
ゆい、ポン酢買っといてくれた？今日そこねでしょ？
Okay, a tomato is a fruit, even though people often call it a vegetable because of how it's used in salads. It's a fruit because I think the property of fruits are the seeds are on the inside, if I remember correctly. So is a strawberry a fruit? It has the seeds on the outside, doesn't it? Okay, pears have seeds on the inside. Apples have seeds on the inside. What else is a fruit that I know for certain? Mango has a seed on the inside. Okay, what else is a fruit that I know for certain? Grapes have seeds on the inside. Okay. But the strawberry has seeds on the outside. Yeah, tomatoes are a fruit. Strawberry... fruit? Okay, the garden strawberry, or simply strawberry fragaria, I can't pronounce that, is a widely grown hybrid species of the genus Fragaria. Okay, known as strawberries, obviously. It's cultivated worldwide for its fruit. The fruit is widely appreciated for its yada yada yada. It's a fruit, right? Yes, it's a fruit, but why are the seeds on the outside? It's a berry, which is why it's called strawberry. And berries are fruits. Okay.
お一人様1個までだったからユー連れて2個ゲットしてきた。あ、そうだ、いつものスーパータイムセールの時間変わるって。嘘。1時間遅くなるんだって。ああ、困るな。夕ご飯の買い物どうしようかな。あと風呂場の洗剤切れそうだったよ。あの白のパッケージの。それは週末のセールを待ってる。どこの？
Wow, what the hell is that design? That shirt, I mean.
青木薬局。クーポンあるよ。ほんと？助かる。
A banana is a berry? You're kidding me.
そうだ、ベランダ見た？洗濯物干す方の角のとこ。え？何？苔生えてるの、びっしり。それが？なんとかしないと、そのうち赤谷が湧くの。やだ。私だって嫌です。というか、私が一番嫌。何？さっきから。喉痛いの？
風邪？ちょっとありえないんですけど、お医者さんでしょ？
看病するの私たちなんですからね。ただでさえ寝汗が多くて洗濯が大変だって言うのに。
少しは痩せてよ。だいたい父さんの食費だけで月にいくら。
What? Do the orphans actually work?
のの、よい、話がある。ちょっと座れ。
座ってんじゃん。
な、お前ら。
At this point, I consider an early morning stream. For me, late night is 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. and early morning is 5 to 8-ish.
もう少し高校生と中学生らしくできねえのか。
はあ？
のの、お前趣味なんだ？
何急に？
いいからよ、趣味は？
部屋の掃除。
That's a really boring hobby.
ゆいは？
セールのチラシ集め。
Okay, I think I see his point.
座れ。
座ってるって。
お前ら何歳のうちから初対地見てんだ。セールがどうの食費がどうの学生の会話が。
Shit, man, they sound older than I am.
家のことは任せるって言ったのは父さんでしょ？
Yeah, you know what my favorite hobby is? Paying the bills. Fuck, man.
もっと遊べっつってんだ。ライブ行ったり服買ったりよ。
別にいいよ。ネットで聞けるもん。
言われなくても服はフリマとかで買ってます。いいのない時は自分で作っちゃうもの。
ちゃんとしすぎなんだよ。なあ、隙のない女はモテねえぞ。
クラスの子供っぽい男子になんか興味ありません。あとのの姉は中等部じゃアイドルだから。
そうなの？
You can pay my bills, that makes you happy. No. God, please, no. God. You know, one of the funniest things I used to say was the person that was most attractive to me was the person who did my homework. That would be like the most sexy thing.
こっちじゃどっちかっていうと怖がられてるんだけどね。
彼氏の一人もいねえのか。お前の浮いた話聞いたことないぞ。
クラスの子供っぽい男子になんか興味ありません。
そっちも男子ってそうなの？
年頃の男子なんて何歳でも一緒でしょ。
I mean, logically, this makes sense because they're orphans. They have to grow up kind of. Unfortunately, they have to grow up faster, in my opinion. They don't have parents to cuddle them.
ブラコンめ。
Yeah, growing up too fast, I don't think is a good thing. Growing up too slow, I don't think it's a good thing either, but... I don't know, I think there's some circumstances that unfortunately force us to get older quickly, otherwise we'll face the consequences.
ののね、大丈夫？ティッシュ。
Out of curiosity, is that how you guys felt growing up? Did you feel that you had to grow up really quickly to deal with responsibilities? Like, I think older brothers and sisters might understand what that feels like if you have a younger sibling when you're growing up, because you have to take on responsibilities. And then, like, sibling relationships are kind of funky. I have a brother, but I don't really know how that feels that much, because we lived apart.
お前はタクルに構いすぎなんだよ。そんなんだと他の男が寄ってこないぞ。
そんなことないです。いや、寄ってきてるって意味じゃなくて。
I remember some things when I was a kid. I remember, like, hitting... What's that game called when you hit a volleyball or something around a pole and it has a string attached to it? I played a lot of that. I remember Pokemon's a big thing too, and we talked about Pokemon all the time.
とにかくあの子は
Oh god, no. Big sis, no. I'm gonna fill in her voices too.
ゆうとはこないだゆいが言ってただろう。ほら、同じクラスの今野さんだがなんだか。
Kono? Is Kono the girl who has the headphones? The one who never says anything?
違うよ。いや違わないけど。
Oh, she's talking about someone else. Ah, they're talking about his class.
"徳田くんにバレて、それで."
Man, please don't tell me kids are bullying orphans. That's kind of fucked up. I could believe it too, but I don't know, man. Like, I figured everyone would have at least the common decency to not mess with that idea. Even kids who I think can be really cruel would at least should understand that.
でも、もしまたいじめられたりしたら、姉ちゃんにいいな。やり返してやるから。
Oh, your voice came back.
ゆい、女の子がそういうこと言わないの。
お前が言うか。
どういう意味?
No, but then again, in my school, people made fun of handicapped people, which I think is incredibly fucked up. So, shit, man, if you do that, they'll do anything. People will do anything. Hey, nice room. This room looks incredibly boring. I'm just saying. But that's the point they're making, right? That she doesn't have any hobbies. Also, this room is incredibly organized. Also, it doesn't really say a gender either or any personality. It's just, you know, if a room is incredibly organized like this, it does kind of have a personality. I would immediately say this person probably is diligent. At least that. But then again, my room is incredibly boring. There's only a bed, a messy floor with a bunch of clothing on it because I'm lazy, some wall scrolls, and that's it. A bed. And a closet, I guess. I don't have anything on my desk either. I hate that room, man. My room might as well be the stream room down here. Okay, it's a little bit... Ugh, even more boring, though. How do you reach those... Yeah, she is really busy at school. Kind of sucks. I understand what she's talking about, too. She's talking about how, well, her roles invite responsibility, and that the only time she gets a break is at home. Right? Let me double check that. Yeah, exactly. It's also about how people, because of your role, right? It doesn't have to be a role. It can be like a title or a perception that they have on you. They put pressure. That shouldn't be too confusing, right? You understand what I mean when I say that? That people's expectation puts pressure on you? It's really obvious. That's why I enjoyed MMORPGs when I was a kid, actually, because it was a place that was outside of my normal life where there was no pressure or expectations. I could just be whoever I wanted to be, and outside of those expectations, you can see different parts of yourself, and you don't have to be a certain way anymore.
日付が6年前の事件とぴったり一致してるんだ。事件も自殺っぽいっていう内容はともかく猟奇的だという点で同じ。
あなた殺されますよ、宮代拓。
Skip that.
私は
This is the thing I'm trying to understand. 6 years ago, so during the artificial earthquake, and I don't know what specifically happened between her and the main character. I mean, you're probably joking, Ankoku, but the reason why I brought it up is we only see certain aspects of each other. Obviously, you know me as a streamer, you know me and my thoughts to some degree, because I try to be honest with my opinions about things. But we don't know other aspects of each other, right? And this comes about with friends as well. It's something I've been thinking about a lot, actually. And how through our expectations of each other, we can also force our friends to give a certain response. That's so hard to explain. How do I even freaking do this? Here's an easy example. If I respect someone for their knowledge, and my relationship with them is based off of knowledge, I'm a friend of you because I think you know a lot. There's pressure with that for my friend, right? And that pressure is, if they don't know something, will it modify our relationship? And if that is the case, then what would that mean about me as a person or my friend as a person, right? So I talk to my friend, and if that person doesn't know anything, then does that make me, respect them less? And I don't know. Maybe that would be the case, unless there's something else that defines our kind of relationship. And then there's other aspects of it as well. So, for example, if for some reason, maybe purely by coincidence, right, that a person that I know always acts angrily, I would think that person might be a very angry individual. But in a different kind of context, in a different kind of setting, that person might be the most warm person I've ever known, but I don't know that part of them. And so because I have an expectation of them being very angry, how I would approach that person would be influenced by that. It would be very different. If this person's always angry, I'd be very careful. I would tiptoe about how I say things, stuff like that, right? And that's my perception of the person modifying how I act to them. And that gets really, really stressful when you start realizing that people have certain perceptions of you based on things that they think are true about you. So if someone walked up to me thinking that I was an incompetent moron and that I was angry all the time, they would show that their word choice and through their actions. And to dispel that kind of perception gets exhausting. And if they cannot get that perception out of their head, then it starts to really stress the relationship. And that's what I was just thinking right now. I've been thinking about that so much, though. That's almost the entire reason why I love MMOs so much. Because there's a chance for me to just get away from that, and I can just enjoy being someone else or seeing different sides of me that feels relaxing, I don't have to be angry all the time. As an example. That's just pretty much me saying that I want to play like Ragnarok Online again or something. I really miss that shit.
何泣きそうな顔してんだ?
Ever since I dropped Grand Blue, man. God.
どうした?
飯ん時ちょっと変だったろお前。
そう?
やっぱあいつが また何かやらかしたのか。
Well, I'm glad that you understood what I was saying.
うん。あ、いや、またやらかしそうというか。
Yeah, but if you're ever wondering why I dropped the Grand Blue, it's partly the reasons that I was telling you, and partly because I wanted more time. But if I were to be more honest with myself, it's because of the reasons I told you.
相変わらずだな。ラブホテルで警察にお世話になった後、お前ちゃんと止めたんだろ？
In case you don't know what Grand Blue is, it's a mobile game that's kind of like an MMORPG. But it's not really social within the game, actually. That's the most unfortunate thing about it. For me, at least.
それでも、なんかやめそうになくて。
珍しいな。あいつがお前に逆らうなんて。なんだ？どうしたんだ？
父さん、あの子ってどうやって私じゃなくてうちに馴染んだの？ほら、長期昏睡から目覚めてリハビリ始めた時は全然心を開いてなかったでしょ？
それを言ったらユイとユウともそうだろう。言っとくけどお前もそうだったぞ。
私の話はいいから。
前のこと覚えてねえな。だいたいそんなのちゃんとしたきっかけなんかあんのか？いつ馴染んだかなんてわかんねえけど、初めて一緒に夕飯食った日は覚えてるわ。
あ。
I don't remember when it started happening. I don't know when he started opening up, but I do remember the first he ate dinner with us.
私も覚えてる。そういえば、あれってなんでだったの？
Okay, so I understand the context now.
多分な。お前の単価だよ。
え？
あいつのリハビリ手伝ってたろ。家族なんだから私が面倒を見るっつって。
うん。
そっから前にも増してつきっきりで、昔からだ。お前のブラコンぶりは。
だから違うって言ってるでしょ。
んで、あいつが問題なく日常生活できるようになって、そろそろ学校も大丈夫じゃないかってお前が俺に相談持ちかけた時、なんて言ったか覚えてるか？
小学生の時、学校にあまり行っていなかったって言うけど、私が行けるようにする。もしあの子をいじめる奴がいたら、私がやり返してやる。
嘘でしょ？
本当だよ。さっきユイも言ってたじゃないか。明らかに昔のお前の影響だ。
Excuse me, what the?
今以上にとんがってたからな。
A really sudden chill all of a sudden I felt that.
それをあいつは部屋の外で聞いてたんだよ。その日の夕飯からだ。あいつが一緒に食べるようになったのが。まあ結局あいつはあまり学校には行かなかったけどな。それでも保健室登校で卒業できたのはお前のしごきの成果だろ
う。Hey, Emerald, how you doing?
そん そんなこと、私言ったかな。
Okay, so this is the part I don't understand. I can kind of fathom an idea. So what is happening here? So she went into her room. She was feeling really nervous about the day. She remembered that a conversation was threatening one of her friends, who she considers family. She was talking about pressure of her role of being a model student, and how she prefers just being a family, as in she is a sister, right, at home, and how that's more preferable. Okay, so she cares more about family than she cares more about image at school. That makes sense. Next. He walks in, he talks about her past relationship and how she brought up one of the orphans to be more social and open up. And somehow that made her feel better. Why is that the case? Because she considers that orphan a brother. She wants to remember her own values and approach a situation that scares her. Okay, that makes sense.
ののねえ、何してんの？
そっちこそ二人でどうした？
ユウのトイレ。そしたら声が聞こえたから。
そう。
Well, I mean, I'm glad that you're here, Emerald. Just, relax. I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, but it's such a weird thing that this VN has made me think so much. And there's been other works that have made me think a lot as well, but I don't think the other works are necessarily asking the reader to think about them. It's just for some reason I think about it. I don't know how to explain that at all. A specific type of phobia. A specific phobia is a type of mental disorder where the subject exhibits an extreme mental and physical rejection in response towards a specific object. Okay, I understand what they're talking about. Okay, it's just saying... Yeah, but what's scotophobia? Scotophobia is a fear of darkness. Okay, there we go. Got it. Yeah, so pretty much what I'm saying is certain things I've read in the past made me think a lot, but I am unsure if the things that I was thinking were being prompted by the work that I'm reading, or if it's just random thoughts in my head and for some reason they connected. Even then, that's a terrible explanation of what I'm saying. I'm saying if the reason why we talked about so many things during this visual novel stream, is it because this visual novel is good? Or it's just simply because I thought of something random and I just wanted to talk about it? I don't know.
ねえ、二人はタクルに帰ってきてほしい？
Like, I'm unsure if they're really thinking about identity here, or if it's just me feeling a certain way, and it happens to be about identity.
当たり前じゃん。家族だもん。うん。っていうか、タクル兄の掃除当番全部肩代わりしてるの私とユウだから、早く返してもらわないと。
Yeah, but pretty much, I'm always thinking about these things, and I haven't figured them out yet, so it's really weird when I'm reading.
あと、買い出し当番も。
ああ、それもだ。忘れてた。
So, like, a lot of things in my life recently have caused me to keep thinking about things. And there are subjects that are not easy to figure out. Like the few things that I mentioned, such as identity and relationships and stuff like that. Those are really complex to me.
ユイ？ん？ユウトをいじめるやつがいたら、やり返してやりなさい。
え？うん、もちろん。
we're mostly being told through the perspective of Nono, the character in front of you right now. But there's no... if we are the camera, we are not specifically someone right now. Okay, so now we switched back to school. Did he puke? Are they gone? Did we hide?
大丈夫。誰もいない。
じゃあもう諦めていこうよ。さすがにお尻が限界。
Maybe we're on the lookout right now. Because the last thing that I remember them talking about was the person who made the stickers is related to the Tokyo hospital.
一石武道家。数年前のニュースだったと思うんだけど、トイレの鍵が壊れて2日間くらい閉じ込められた人がいて、救出された時に閉じ込められてどうでしたかって聞かれて、こう答えたんだ。トイレがあってよかったって。
私たちは2人だからトイレできないじゃん。
2 hours locked inside the bathroom? What are you doing? 5th floor of the Tokyo General Hospital in the woman's toilet near the lobby. The ward they were staying in? The 5th floor ward. There are 2 wards on the 5th floor. The first was the gastroenterological ward. Gastroenterological ward, okay. Straight down the hall from the lobby. Okay. But to get to the place where we want to go, you had to take a right from the lobby and go to the psych ward. To meet with patients in the psych ward, you needed permission from the patient and the hospital. If you weren't there to meet someone, you wouldn't even be allowed in. While we were sitting in the lobby trying to come up with a plan, said visiting hours for the psych ward ended. Then hours for the gastroenterological ward ended too, and we had no excuse for being there any longer. So because you couldn't stay there any longer, you just stayed in the bathroom? Okay, I guess.
くそ、少しでも情報を得て帰りたかったのに。クルス。
タク？
Ow, my neck. Ow, that really hurt. Yeah.
いいの？
仕方ないだろう。きっと出たら面倒なことになる。
Oh, you didn't even talk to her? She called you or she texted you? Okay, this actually seems important. Yeah, this might actually be important. The reason why I said that is the UI completely changed. Not completely. But the fact that there's 3 circles now. 3 eyes. Maybe... No, that would kind of make sense. That would be a decision that aligns really well with the story and the game mechanics. Anyway, 1 eye, 1 eye, 1 eye. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I think this choice might actually matter is the fact that the middle is a gigantic circle and we have very little perception on the events. So, if I were to go positive, it looks like it's actually a choice that would affect the story. If I go neutral, same thing. Negative, same thing. I don't understand exactly how this would work yet, though. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to go negative. We're going to see what this does.
変なの。まさかこの年でタクと一緒に女子トイレの個室に何時間もこもることになるなんて。
そう言わずにもうちょっと付き合ってくれ。
いいけど。でもこれ以上粘っても意味。
Is this really what I was thinking about? Okay, fine. Creepy music for I need to go to the restroom. And you're in a restroom.
なあ、尾上。
帰る気になった？それがいいよ。また明日来ようよ。
いや、まだ帰らない。
じゃあ何？
だから悪いけど、一瞬外に出ててくれないか。
Ah! Will she actually get caught up in something if she leaves?
やだよ。見つかっちゃうよ。
Well, we'll see.
ほんの30秒ぐらいでいいから。
やだって。それならタクが出てってよ。
僕がしょんべんしたいのに、なんで僕が出ていかなくちゃいけないんだ。
あ、そっか。じゃあ、後ろ向いててあげるから、ここでしちゃいなよ。
I guess that would be embarrassing.
恥ずかしいだろ。
今更じゃん。私とタクの間柄でしょ？
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but not that close. Come on.
お前本気で言ってるのか？てかお前本気で言ってるのか？
いいからいいから、パパッとやっちゃいなって。
I mean, what she's saying makes sense. And given the fact that we don't want to be found out, I get that. It's just awkward, that's all.
絶対こっち見るなよ。絶対だぞ。
Just do it quick, LOL. Okay.
Sarika, please. Wow, this is... It is going on for quite a while, I must admit. You're not looking at the wall whatsoever, you pervert!
ぱい出るね。
あ、はい。
Okay, what are our other options?
Taku.
ん？
さ、ちょっと相談があるんだけど。
Please don't tell me you need to use the restroom.
相談？
さっき遺跡ぶった話あったでしょ？
ああ、うん。
私言ったよね。私たち二人だからトイレできないじゃんって。
言った。それが？
やっぱりなんでもない。
ん？どうしたんだよ。
なんでもないって。
あ、だってなんか泣きそうな顔してるじゃないか。
Buddy, it's pretty obvious.
どうしたんだ。言ってくれないとわからない。言ってくれ。長い付き合いだろ。
Oh God.
Bullshit!
僕を信用できないのか。
You know what's funny? I thought this decision was important because of how the UI was made, and instead it's just who needs to go to the bathroom. Now, if this decision is super important about who needs to go to the bathroom because it's life-threatening, then yeah, I guess that would make sense. But it's not coming off that way right now.
何がダメなんだ。
お願い。タク。あっち向いてて。
What? No, wrong one.
Bullshit!
Fuck, man. Why did it have to be another peeing scene?
何なんだよ。
What?
まさかお前。
見ないで。こっち見ないで。
なんでお前言わないんだよ。なんでこうなるまで我慢してたんだよ。
だって二人いたらトイレできないじゃん。タカがいるのに目の前でできるわけ。
You know what? I'll hold the L. Don't worry, I'll do it for you. Don't ask.
ねえタク、とりあえず今日は諦めて出直そうよ。
お前は気にならないのかよ。
え？
この病院は。
Who is Amy? This was the hospital we snuck into a long time ago, looking for an urban legend called Amy. Okay.
そりゃ気になるよ。調べられるんなら調べたい。でもこうなっちゃったらさ、明日からちゃんと面会時間に通い詰めて入れるチャンスを待った方がよくない？
それはまあ、
今だったらこの回で見つかりさえしなければ普通に外に出られるでしょ。
分かった。とりあえず。
A phone call?
またか。
Or maybe a text.
もしもし。
おい、宮代。お前、今どこにいる？
どうした？
副部長が事件を追うのはやめなさいってキレてるぞ。今、あなたたちは何してるんだって問い詰められた。てか、怒鳴られた。
お前、まさか。
全部喋った。そしたら、設置した監視カメラを外しなさい。いや、私が今すぐ外しに行くっつって電話切られた。
Did you... Okay, first thing first, buddy. You should have warned her immediately. Because we were talking about... I mean, wasn't it obvious? Or it just was not obvious to the freaking characters in this game? If she takes down the camera, she's also being in front of other cameras. Cameras that are very dangerous.
お前、そこ耐えろよ。
無理言うなよ。思わず副部長に敬語だったぞ、俺。
Okay, so there's a chance that No-No is in danger. Or will be in danger.
とりあえずお前のことは、何か別に気になったことがあったみたいで、尾上と一緒にそれを調べてるみたいですって言っといて。何してるか知らねえけど、副部長に殺される前に謝っとけよ。てか、電話に出てやれ。
のんちゃん、元気出たんだ。よかった。
いや、よかったじゃないよ。
でも、のんちゃんらしいよ。
お前どっちの味方なんだ？
タクだよ。タクだってのんちゃんが元気ないの嫌でしょ？
Oh, that's a really good answer. Wow, like A+ answer, I'm serious.
そりゃ、いや、いい。
It's an answer that says, I'm on your side, and I know you care for someone else, so therefore you're on their side too. That's, I don't know how to explain how well thought out that was. Maybe she wasn't thinking, it's just good. That's all I'm saying. Maybe she's good. She's a good politician.
行くの？
言っとくけど、諦めたわけじゃないからな。よし。
You know, you could go for it. You could just go to the room and talk to the person who supposedly made the stickers. Alright, see you, JTX. Never mind, because you can't.
タク、しょうがないよ。出直そう。
ああ。
タク？
いや、今。
Did the door just open with no one there? Okay, good. That's less creepy. Okay, so it's exactly what that was. It opened with no one there. For a door that's supposed to be voice activated or something? So sort of. You kind of have to like touch it, get access from via permission. There we go.
なんで?
Did the person who's at the desk notice that, or just us? Huh, interesting. Okay, so the question now is, how did this happen, and is it like hallucinogenic, etc.? Or just the door opened automatically for whatever reason? There we go. Someone made it open from the operator panel, I guess. You know, that would make more sense, but why? Because they knew we were here?
タクル、あなたも他の人と違わない。ただの高校生でしょ。
わかんないけど、チャンスだ。行こう。
Was no one at the desk? That's why they ran? That's kind of ridiculous. Fine. Are hospital wards at night this creepy? No, seriously. Yeah, it should be better lit, right? Because aren't you thinking about the mental health of your patients? Wouldn't they be kind of spooked?
確か絵描きって奥の個室に入院しているんだよな。あった。ここら辺だ。くそ、やっぱり奥の方だな。
Oh, excuse me.
あっち？
いや、偏見か。いくら閉鎖病棟とはいえ、 大半は高齢の認知症の人たちだろうし。
Okay, he's saying something specific about the air here was the same thing as the hotel. So either it's just him, or it's just the atmosphere, or there's actually something in the air that will be a story-related reason.
Huh?
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, isn't there something that you give patients to settle them down, like a sedative, right? Does that have any type of hallucinogenic effects? You wouldn't want to do that, though. If you would give a sedative to a patient and they would start hallucinating, wouldn't that be dangerous? Yeah, not a good idea. It has to be something else done. Maybe something in the air. I mean, that would kind of explain things, but why would it appear in... Okay, so something hospital-related that legitimately would be there. And they take that and they put it in the hotel. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. But I can't think of anything because I don't know much about hospitals.
あの時も鍵が勝手に。
タク、どうしたの？
いや。
Yeah, that's true. But it wasn't a regular hotel. It was a love hotel, which is very different. Did we hide in a bathroom again?
ああ、松下さん、点滴逆血してたよ。
え、またですか？外しちゃってました？
それがね。
バレちゃった？
いや。
Yeah, it's becoming a normal thing now, where sprites actually speak.
タク、そういえばさ。
ん？
昔忍び込んだ時って、どこに行ったか覚えてる？
Oh yeah, that's right. Remember, we would get these flashbacks of this girl inside a trench coat being operated on. That's kind of creepy. Maybe this happened here.
そりゃ覚えて。いや、具体的にどこか覚えてないな。でも、この平等じゃなかったとは思う。
Wait, 99 animates their sprite talking? Really? That's interesting. Did it have voice acting as well, as much as this game? Because this game, pretty much every single spoken line is actually VA'd.
どうした？
Oh man. Oh, it's almost... Oh wow, it's 6 in the morning already? Fuck man, it's 6:46 in the morning, jeez.
大丈夫か？
Is it really? Yeah, it is. It's still dark outside too. It's winter, I guess.
うん。大丈夫だよ。
大したことじゃない。絵描きの情報を確かめて帰る。それだけだろ。
I wonder how creepy this guy is.
よし。
We're gonna be going into a psych ward for this person who draws the stickers. Super creepy, super cute. Who knows?
行こう、タク。
あ。
ここ？
開けるぞ。誰もいない。
The bed against the wall was empty. The blanket was rolled up. There's no one here? Okay, then the person's just wandering around? Or is the person sleeping under the bed? Are they kind of like that person?
他の部屋を探してみるか。
It's a little creepy.
なんだよ。
タク、あれ？
え？
Too dark to see. Oh, well, we're at the right place.
なんだこれ。
気持ち悪い。
この匂いは。
This unpleasant scent coming from the wall. Okay. Does it smell like blood? Is it toxic?
Ah!
どうしたの？
これ絵の具じゃない。え？血だ。
That's creepy. And where would you get the blood from? From yourself? Oh my, how would you even paint that, man? Oh, well, I know, but that's a lot of them.
やばい。
タク、何してるの？
This happened twice now, where unconsciously he's been recording things. Why is that a thing for him?
こんなことしてる場合じゃ。
行こうよ。ね。
ああ。今どこかで音が。誰だよ。
Do I want to ask her how she draws those? I mean, we came here to ask her. It just, you know, in a very inconvenient timing. At a very strange spot. Yeah, but that's a lot of blood.
Huh?
Well, I guess the very first thing I would do is politely knock and say, hello, I'm sorry for... You know, that's because I'm not scared. Look, she's just finger painting.
どうしたの？急に怖い声出して。
何かって、お前あれ。
Sorry, are you saying that that person wasn't actually there? Why did you sound so scared? Why can't you see? Ah, oh, there we go. Perception again. Also, it kind of looked like someone we know, but that person had a long ponytail.
大丈夫？
あの女の子。
女の子って何？
今そこにいただろ。
Okay, this is the first time in which, well, it's not exactly the first time, but it's the first major hallucination that is probably very important that we didn't control.
やだ、怖いこと言わないでよ。
じゃあ今のはただの妄想？尾上、行こう。ここは多分。
I played and yeah, I played Chaos Head and I watched a little bit of it, but let's not mention that. It was years ago though, so it's been a while. Someone left emergency exit? Wait, you did it or did... What? Wouldn't those normally sound? Or what? Huh? I watched a little bit of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Marathon, yeah.
どう？そっちは？異常なしです。何があったんでしょう？
Okay, so for anyone who's aware, how do emergency exits work? Normally you can't just leave them, right? Because some of them might be attached to alarms. Did that just open, is what they're saying? Excuse me, jeez, ugh, God. Heard the sound of emergency. Did she open it herself?
"降りられそうだね。
なんで開いてたんだ？
非常口だからでしょ？
でも閉鎖病棟だぞ。
きっと閉め忘れだ。タク、それより今はここから出ないと。
ああ、そうだな。下へ降りて出口を探そう。
オッケー。タク、さっきの壁の絵。
The thing is, we didn't get as much information as I would like, except we know the person who drew it, sort of. It might have been that little girl. And with blood, so it's kind of creepy.
Yoshi, 開いた。
Oh, hey.
Nande? あの二人がここにいる。
Those are the two that Ito had noticed in the club room this morning. Wait, what? I don't remember that. Yeah, can someone please remind me when Ito remembered those two? Because I do not remember that. Ito is his friend. They're not really creepy though. So there must have been something specific about Ito's event that tells us about them. I know who they are. I've seen them in the game prior to this scene. I just don't know how that's related to Ito and what they said. What? Where are we? This is somehow outside the hospital. Okay, so we took the emergency exit. Somehow we saw them in a corridor, and then we ran.
Yoshi. まだ事件が起こっていないのに 壁一面に貼られた力士シールが引っかかるな。
タク。
どうした？
のんちゃんが刺された。
What did I say? That was legitimately the first thing I said. It was like, Ito, you should have told her that if she's going to take down the camera, she's going to be in a very dangerous spot. How did you not recognize that? You know, maybe it didn't make sense. Maybe the characters in the game didn't understand the fact that, hey, there's a sticker at a certain height in which this video is being recorded. There's a chance that the stickers are fucking video cameras. Did we figure that out and they didn't? Because it was so obvious to me. And I know everyone understood that. Maybe the characters didn't understand that. That had to have been the case. You have to be freaking stupid not to realize that as a dangerous thing to do.
タクル兄ちゃん。
来る。さあ。
I'm just, at this point, I'm trying to wonder if they didn't realize that, because it seems so obvious. I must have missed, I feel like I missed it, right? Because it seems that obvious. I felt like I missed them talking about that being cameras.
I いや、クルスは。静かにしなさい。一応病院なんだから。タクル。
何？
靴脱ぎなさい。
あ、ごめん。僕。
何？
いや、その。
ああ、これ？
These visual novels, as 50-ish hours, usually.
13針。大したことない。
When I finished Steins Gate, it took me around 50 hours as well. You're pretty much reading, depending on how fast you read, I guess several novels, or like you're watching an extended movie series. Okay, sorry, you punched me in the face? Can you explain yourself? Like, no, seriously, what were you fucking thinking?
ざけんなよ。お前、何してんだよ。
No, seriously, with your best logic, please explain to me why you punched me.
ちょっと、川原
くん。探偵ごっこがなんか知らねえけど、余計なことしてるからこんなことになんだろうが。
Okay, good one.
死んでてもおかしくなかったんだぞ。
川原くん。
青少年、世のビールはこれか。
Okay. Anyway. So, I'm going to assume the characters didn't understand the implications of the stickers, which means that he punched me in the face because he's saying it's my fault that I didn't respond to her cell phone. If I responded to her cell phone, I could have warned her. That's definitely something. Yeah, but he doesn't know about the freaking cameras being dangerous. But this whole we're essentially investigating murders here. Of course, it's gonna be dangerous. So you should put yourself in that kind of situation. Still, though, I can't imagine, even without the knowledge of those things, those stickers being cameras, you would not say, "Don't do that." Right? That makes logical sense. So, imagine that you don't know that the stickers are cameras. Wouldn't you still say, "Hey, whatever you're doing, don't go over to that area where there's a bunch of stickers, because usually bad things seem to happen around the stickers, and take down the camera." That's logical, right?
はい。他にもいろいろ入っているそうです。
すまないな。
ゲンさん、ありがとうございました。川原くん、それ、ゲンさんの家まで運ぶのを手伝ってもらえる？
いや、でも。
お願い。
Okay, so if he straight up walked to my face and said, "I blame you for not answering that phone and telling her to be worried about the information you know," then yeah, it is my fault. I agree. Or if it's Ito's fault, whatever. But I don't think he understands that, so I want to punch him back in the face.
わかったよ。
Yeah, that too. Like, what are you doing? Like, I understand no, though. I get it, right? It's just lack of communication here. It's really dangerous, and she doesn't get everything. Okay, but more importantly, who gives a shit about that? She's okay now, and I'm glad. The next question is, will you continue to be okay? Right? It's kind of traumatic. You got stabbed. Do you know who stabbed you?
Oh, Taku!
No? No one's going to talk about that? I mean, it's kind of too fast, too early, I don't know.
Ken-san.
まあ、いろいろだな。
Were you around there?
嬢ちゃん、養生しろよ。
はい。ゲンさんも。相変わらず、ひょうひょうとしてる人ね。
Yeah, so I'm feeling this is a little bit forced.
どうして？いや、じゃなくて、何があったんだ？
助けられたの。通りかかったゲンさんに。刺したやつを取り押さえてくれた。
That's pretty impressive. I did not expect that, period.
あなたが仕掛けたカメラ、正確には伊藤くん？
それは。
まあいいね。とにかくカメラを外している時に、妙なやつに声をかけられたの。聖なる結界の場所でどうしたこうした。意味がわからなかったけど。
Okay, well, if that's what their opinion was, you taking down the camera would make more sense, because you wouldn't want them to blaspheme the holy yeah.
それで、いきなり詰め寄られて。
Okay, well, clearly this person wasn't logical anyway.
まったくどこで売ってるのかしらね。ああいうナイフって。
それでどうなったんだよ。
殴って逃げたに決まってるでしょ。そこにゲンさんが通りかかって取り押さえて、で110番。タクル？
傷は大丈夫なのか？
脇腹を軽く削ぐような傷だから内臓は無事。大丈夫。
おや、宮代くん。
Suchi Wakui? Who?
来てたのか。久しぶりだな。
Oh, shit.
玄ちゃんと川原少年はどうした？
帰ってもらったの。
例のお土産は？
渡しました。川原くんに頼んだから。
佐久間さん、私はこれで。
ああ、そうでしたね。この度はノノがすいませんでした。
Yeah, she is super chill for a person who got stabbed. That's actually pretty impressive. I would probably be a little bit more distressed, but I guess that's how used to being a role model she is. But again, she needs a little bit of a break, especially if she just got hurt. You know, it's okay to kind of let things go, I guess. I feel like the reason why...
クルス君にはいつもお世話になっているので。じゃあ、クルス君、お大事にね。
I mean, part of the reason why could be she doesn't want to have other people feel stressed out about her because she cares that much. Another one is simply maybe she's just that strong. I don't know.
ありがとうございます。ご迷惑おかけしました。
But super chill for sure.
そうだ。宮代くんもいるならちょうどいいか。ちょっと言いづらいんだけど、それにまあ君たちが完全に悪いってわけでもないんだけど、おそらく新聞部は活動を自粛してもらうことになると思う。こんなこと。まあね、これもいい教訓だと思って。いや、失礼かな。つまりね。
先生。
はい。
I mean, hilariously, I guess so. I mean, remember what happened, right? The earthquake happened and they're orphans for a reason. And they lost a lot of things. So they grew up having to get used to this kind of stuff already. It's just that, I don't know, man. If I got stabbed, I wouldn't be as chill. Or maybe I would. Who knows?
お疲れ様でした。
Maybe one day I'll know how this feels. Not that I want to.
はい。
疲れた。
お前、教師からも怖がられてんのか。
I mean, there is a way to turn this around. So it's a bad event, but something good can come out from it, which is the main character finally shows concern for her and they bond again. Because it's very obvious that these two have a gap in between them, and Nono is concerned that she can't bring them closer again because she's not considered family to the main character anymore for some reason. We don't know why.
違います。あの先生はいつもあんな感じなの。父さん。
大丈夫か？明日の診察までは寝てていいぞ。
And you know what? It's okay to love your sister. I mean, that's what one of my favorite anime tells me.
痛み少しだけど引いてきたから。
Praise Kirino. God.
運ばれた病院で薬何もらったんだ？
ファロとロキ。少し多めに飲んだの。あげませんからね。
バカか。タグ。もし熱が出たらすぐ言えよ。
クルス、ごめん、僕が。
タクル、あなた今日泊まっていきなさい。
What? Yeah, sure, I'm down for that. I'm just sorry, it just came so. That's not normally a line you would hear from a lady.
タクル。
This shouldn't be Nono's room? Because...
大丈夫よ。 そんなにじっと見てなくても。
Wait, if this is not Nono's... Okay, if this is Nono's room, what was the other room I was talking about where it was extremely tidy?
いや。
I mean, I would still appreciate a sub, but you don't have to. I'm hoping to get some new sub emotes up pretty soon and get some subscriber incentives starting going.
ありがとう。やっぱり違和感あるわね。看病される側って慣れてないの。あ、ちゃんと冷やしときなさいよ。
こんな時まで他人の心配するなよ。
あなたね、言っておくけど。
Do me a favor though. The next time you see Scott, because I'm probably gonna be asleep pretty soon now that I think about it, tell him to make sure that he has the emote ideas for his section. He might have forgotten, but if he didn't, that'd be cool. I told him to get the emotes ready by Monday. As in his ideas.
あなたのせいじゃないからね。刺されたのはあくまで私の責任。
I like how the bear has nose. Two nose. No nose.
でも、僕がカメラなんて仕掛けなければ。
それは確かに褒められたことじゃないけど、でも予想できたことじゃないでしょ。
God, I am so hungry right now. I feel like my stomach growling. Okay. Do I want to end the stream right now? Because this is actually at a really poignant spot too. What do I do? Get food? Keep watching. Yeah, I guess I'll just save this for later. A very, very, really important spot. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and if you did, I hope you follow us here on twitch.tv/FinestKO. These social streams at night for this game have been actually really beneficial for me, so I'm hoping that you enjoyed it as well. If you did, well, I hope to see you around again. Check out our Twitter account at twitter.com/FinestKO, our Facebook account at facebook.com/FinestKO. Our YouTube is youtube.com/FinestKO Productions, and last but not least, if you want to donate to me personally, tinyurl.com/FKOKoopa. If you want to follow me personally on Twitter, I am at VasedCoopa. I always appreciate people who pop by and say hi. You can, I don't know, talk, play games, whatever. I'm trying to probably tone down social media use, but you can always say hi there in case you need me. Last but not least, we have a Discord as well. I suggest you join us if you haven't. We have a decently active community on our Discord, and I'm hoping that we'll be doing a lot more events for our group there, which I plan to do. So join us if you want to, you know, be a part of the community. Alright, I'm gonna go and probably get some rest. I'll probably be streaming when I wake up again, so if you want to stay tuned for more Chaos Child, that works out. Alright, take it easy guys.